What is up? What's going on? What's going on, good people? What's going on, good people? Welcome back. Welcome back. Doing an afternoon show, 3 p.m. out here. 3 p.m. out here on the East Coast. Not a morning show like I normally do, but you know what the deal is. You know what the deal is. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching this thing live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. You want to make sure you hit the like button. That let people know that you're here. Going to be getting into this whole Chris Rock finally responding, finally clapping back. Been waiting on this for a whole year. He got into a lot of things. We're going to be doing a pretty much line by line breakdown of a lot of the odds and ends. A lot of the odds and ends of it. Going to be doing a line by line breakdown. Going to be getting deep and heavy into it. So strap on in, strap on in. We about to definitely get this thing going. About to definitely get this thing happening up in here. I'm still dotting I's, crossing T's. I know I ain't never got the show all the way ready to go when it start. I know I ain't never got the show all the way ready to go. But I got it in the background. I'm probably going to get a strike. I'm going to be playing a lot of clips directly from it, from the TV that y'all see behind me. I'm going to be playing a lot of clips directly from it. So let's go ahead and let's get ready to go. Let's get into it. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? As promised in the little pre-intro ramble, I said I'm going to be playing some clips directly from the Chris Rock Netflix special. I don't even have to do that much of an introduction, but we already know the deal. The Oscars last year, Will Smith got up and basically more or less slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. Got up and did that, and we've been patiently waiting to hear Chris Rock do a stand-up comedy routine on it. I'll admit that at first, there were some aspects of it I was disappointed about, where I didn't think he went in enough. Everybody keep playing the highlights of when he went in, but it was some times where I thought he left a lot of meat on the bones. But we're going to be getting into it and break it all the way down. My perspective, my thought process on this is that if you're going to do an hour, after we waited a year, and you're going to do an hour Netflix live special, after we waited a year, out of that hour, he was supposed to spend at least 30 to 35 minutes of that hour with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett jokes. Flat out. So he didn't exactly do that, but he said a lot of things. He took down woke culture. He made a lot of statements, said a lot of things that a lot of, we hear it all the time. You know, a lot of the men who come online started their own independent media, blackmail media, you know, blah blah blah. Yeah, he said a lot of those things. You know, he said stuff that sound like he got it right up out of, you know, right up out of content creators on this side of YouTube. Said Beyonce working at Burger King could still get Jay-Z, but if Jay-Z worked at Burger King, you know, he made a lot of good ones. He made a lot of good ones. And he really took some shots at woke culture. Definitely let them have it. Let me get the link ready to go for let me get the link. So get that link. This link ain't for everybody. This is so RM could work the ones and twos in the back. This is for RM right there. Don't nobody take that link. Yeah, all the celebs be sneak watching. But shout out to everybody that made it in bright and early. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Kuma. Says, what would you do if Will Smith slapped the ish out of you on live TV? Me personally, I'd sue. Chris Rock talked about a lot about not being a victim, or everybody wants to be a victim nowadays. I'm going to be talking about that. But yeah, I'm being a victim. Will Smith slapped me. Chris Rock got enough money to not play the victim. Me, Will Smith slapped me. I'm playing the victim all day. He broke my neck. I'm trying to get paid. Kuma says, take it or scrap on the ground with Will. I'm getting that money, and I ain't doing nothing to mess up that money. Is what it is. Winthrop in the building. Shout out to you, Snazzy Individual. Shout out to you, Store of Seed. Shout out to you. Shout out to who we got in here. No, I'm trying to look at that one right there. Says Nanga Iboka. Says CR. Chris Rock probably knows about the Black Manosphere also. Absolutely. 100%. And shout out to SKC, the last person I'm gonna shout out before I go and then roll some beautiful bean footage, I'll say. He says, the times we live in, these spaces are ahead of comedy and more provocative. Yes. I agree. I agree 100%. But all right. About to, where is it at? We about to get into this. Y'all let me know audio-wise how well y'all could hear this, because a lot of this show is contingent upon how well y'all can hear the video feed that I'm playing here. So let's go.
Yeah, words hurt when you write them on a brick, okay? You gotta watch out. Everybody's scared. If you're a certain age and you go to work, you are fucking scared. In the old days, if somebody wanted your job, they just worked harder than you. Now, if somebody wants your job, they just wait for you to say some dumb shit.
Uh-oh. I hope y'all heard that. RM said turn it up a touch. All right. We'll turn it up a touch. But hopefully y'all heard that. He took a shot at woke culture, this whole woke culture, and it's important to put it in context. It's important to put that in context that a lot of comedians, particularly Black comedians, tend to be on the woke side of things. Dave Chappelle has started a trend. And hopefully it move Black people out of that pot. Hopefully it moves Black people out of that pot. GC, I am aware of the risks that I'm running. Everybody is playing little snippets of it. So I got clips. And if it gets shut down, it gets shut down. I'll just put the rest of it on Patreon. But I'll just put it on Patreon. But so anyway, I'm trying to get Black folks. I would like to get Black folks out of that pot. I do think comedians like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, people who really stir the pot in the culture, we underestimate how much entertainment, comedians, actors, and I would say by extension, social media and YouTubers, content creators, podcast hosts, they all stir the pot of the culture, but nobody can do it more than a comedian in some ways. In some ways. So I love, even though Chris Rock still in this very stand-up, he dips his toe in a lot of wokeisms, but I love that he's criticizing it. I love that he's criticizing it. Made the statement that before, if you wanted somebody's job, you worked harder than them. Now you just wait for them to say something stupid so you could go and file a complaint or tell or be offended or whatever. Now, Snuggles back in the building with a $5 super chat. Appreciate everybody.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Snuggle. Snuggly softness. That's really less expensive.
Snuggles is back in my good graces, only because I was very mean to Snuggles when she was telling me that the audio was bad and I didn't believe Snuggles, and Snuggles got timed out. But actually the audio was terrible. So I had to re-give Snuggles a wrench, and occasionally the Snuggles bear will get clicked on, and we'll have to hear that. I gotta stop treating people bad. Don't abuse it, Snuggles. Don't abuse it. He says, Chris Rock watches Coach Greg Adams, so I'm sure he knows about the matter. Explain to me, how do you know that Chris Rock watches Coach Greg Adams? Explain that one. I would love to know how you know that. However, he made the statement before, when you wanted somebody's job, you worked harder than him. That's what I want black men to embody. Outworking the competitor. I don't like black men getting into the basket of wokeness. If you're politically astute, you thought I was going to say basket of deplorables, but no, basket of wokeness. In the I'm offended posse. I want us, not doing that. I want us to operate and move like men. And conquer and defeat those who are competing against us, and understand that we are competitors who have to get in there and compete. Not be offended our way into some type of prosperity or benefit of some sort. Leo Anthony says, I have a feeling a lot of celebrities do thanks to Kevin Samuels. Absolutely 100%. 100%. But all right, let's roll some more of it.
Yeah, trying to get you with one of them woke traps. Say, hey, we going to a gay wedding tomorrow. How do you feel about that? Oh, it's good. Don't fall into the woke trap at all now. I have no problem with it at all. I'm all for social justice. I'm all for marginalized people getting their rights. The thing I have a problem with is the selective outrage.
All right. Gonna have to stop and go and pause this a lot, because I want the video to survive to the end. You notice that he couldn't go full gangster with it. It's like a part of him still has to straddle the fence. Of, I'm all for social justice and da. But social justice used to be a term where somebody was actually done wrong. And then their rights were actually violated, and something needed to be legitimately fought for. Like, that's what it used to be. Narim said he couldn't go full retard. Never go full retard. Yeah. But that's how it used to be. And so when he's saying that I'm all for that, it's like he still understands that so many black folks and so many people in this country are still so just staunch down with the wokeness, to the point to where you got to placate to it. You got to pander to it. You could call it out, but you got to massage it and pat it on the head. That's essentially what he did right there. That is essentially what he did right there. And, understand it. People are not going to go full gangster with it. I understand. But there will be an element of it. There will be an element of it where certain things will be getting called out or do get called out. All right. I'm gonna progress it a little forward because again, I don't want to play the full. I don't want to do the full clip. Gotta break it up into segments.
Here, everybody full of shit. I'm in my own neighborhood the other day. I bumped into my good friend.
One of the parts that I skipped is when he was talking about, somebody played Michael Jackson and it's a party. Somebody put on R. Kelly. You turn into an activist. Selective outrage. That's sort of the gist of a lot of what he's talking about. Sort of a gist of what we call out a lot on this show.
Hadn't seen him in years. Fred got a new job at AT&T. Okay? So I'm like, hey, Fred, how's the job? And Fred's like, ooh, I love the job. It's a safe space. I feel seen. I feel heard. There's a lot of diversity. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, nigga, it's me. What, you think I'm wearing a wire or some shit? What the fuck you talking about, safe space? Nigga, you did 8 years for manslaughter. Nobody's safe around.
To me, that's how it sounds when you get brothers. When you get brothers talking about, buying into the wokeness and the safe space stuff and all of that, that's how it comes off to me. It is a problem. It is a problem. We recently had a show over here where, victimhood was on the table. Everybody was clamoring to be a victim. Now, he is going to talk about how, in some ways, well, he said white men. He didn't say conservatives, but he said how white men play the victim. And it's something to that, but we're going to get into that. We're going to definitely get into that. It's a lot of different angles on this. But Emmett Perry in the building says Chris Rock, one of my favorites all time. Absolutely. I've said this and I've argued with people on this. People disagree with me on this one. But I'm on record saying that Chris Rock funnier than Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle has been pulling ahead lately. The Dave Chappelle has dropped, I would say, more. Dave Chappelle been dropping more classic stand-ups than Chris Rock. Chris Rock's earlier ones was more classic. His late, the ones he's been dropping lately been good, but not just classic great. Dave Chappelle been dropping instant classics. Even this one right here, even though I liked it when I watched it twice, technically. When I went back and watched it the second time, I liked it. I was disappointed because I wanted 30 minutes of it. I wanted a strong 30 minutes. To be all Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Like that's what I wanted. That's what I came for. He didn't exactly give that, but I'm gonna play clips. Of what he did give. Because he did give some things. I got like 5 segments or so, 6 or so segments drawn out. Give me a second. I'm moving it along to another portion. Come on now.
To show your ass. That's right. And the number 4 easiest way to get attention, number 4 is to be a victim. You're like, ooh, where he going with this? Don't get me wrong. There's no victim shaming going on. No. There are real victims in this world. There are people that have gone through unspeakable trauma. And they need your love, they need your support, they need your care. But if everybody claims to be a victim, when the real victims need help, ain't nobody gonna be there to help them. Okay? And right now we live in a world where the emergency room is filled up with motherfuckers with paper cuts. Okay?
Damn, I couldn't even pause that one. Couldn't even pause that. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I see people saying get the likes up. Get the likes up. Y'all take heed. Take heed. Definitely get the likes up. If RM, you saying turn it up some more. Now y'all got to work with what it is. Y'all got to work with what it is. I can't turn it up any louder. It'll be too loud because it's loud in here. But I got a mic. I ain't gonna explain the setup. I ain't gonna explain the setup how y'all getting the audio from the TV. But y'all definitely. M. Perry said it's loud enough. All right, I'm gonna trust M. Perry over RM. Sorry, RM. A lot of people in the ER with paper cuts. These are the people talking about microaggressions. Shout out to my man JB, who said he works for a company to where they hire a woman. This is a black woman they hire to work in the diversity department, where they're paying her $250,000 a year to do diversity training. So she basically gets paid $250,000 a year to go and tell the white people that's paying her how racist they are. She gets paid $250,000 a year to tell the white people that is paying her $250,000 a year how racist they are. Like, that's what she gets paid for, to go teaching diversity. Like that's a situation. Like, that's a situation. But right now, he's about to go on white men about it. Go in on white men about it.
That's right. Everybody trying to be a victim. People that know good and goddamn well they ain't victims. Like white men. When did white men become victims? White men actually think they losing the country. To who? It ain't us. When's the last time you got on a black cruise ship? Or flew on a black airline? Get the fuck out of here. We don't got no money. We got some vodkas and a couple of record companies. White men actually think they losing the country. Did you see the Capitol riots? White men trying to overthrow the government that they run.
Now, funny, but what do y'all think about that? Because we have a lot of discussions on this show where we look at it from a standpoint of, white people view it from the perspective of ideology. They don't look at it as they're overthrowing themselves. They looking at it from an ideological standpoint that we ain't ideologically with the white people who is making the current decisions right now. So we want to overthrow them or overrun them or try to run them out of office and blah, 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 blah. So black people look at it as white people is white people is white people. We don't care. We don't care about your ideology. We don't care what political party you in. White people is white people is white people. So and I think that's truly like when people saw the Capitol riots or whatever, the Capitol when they stormed the Capitol, they was from the perspective that these people was storming it on some anti-black stuff. But it is a fair, and this is a discussion that I do want to, I'm glad Hood just showed up. This is a discussion I do want to have with Hood Conservative at some time. Do the anti-woke people, the anti-left, anti-wokies, do they get to the point to where when they're complaining about all the stuff that they're complaining about, do they embody some aspects of that victim mentality? I do want to flesh that one out. Because it's very possible that if one side is pushing back against another side that's kicking ass, and then you could start pushing back to the point against the other side that's kicking ass and gaining leverage and power, and then you start ended up sounding like the victim. So that is a conversation that I do want to have, that I do want to get into, because some people tried to storm my comment section, basically saying that, you know, to stop being a victim. It's almost like they try to do they basically, anybody with any critique or any complaint about anything is a victim. So again, there's the people who are in the ER with paper cuts, like you said. There's the people with legitimate grievances. And it's so much shit getting complained about and talked about. Where does the line actually get drawn? Where does the line actually get drawn? Where does the line actually get drawn? You said you didn't think nothing of January 6th. I mean, it was some degenerate shit. One could say that. One could say that, even if you politically agree with them. I mean, going and, you know, you gonna talk about they took a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk. There's a lot of stuff that I ain't gonna play. I gotta skip ahead. But no, it's a lot of stuff in there that you could look at. I didn't think that much of it. I didn't, you know. I was like, hey, white people want some white people shit. They acting like the Philadelphia Eagles fans up in here, like whatever. And it's funny, the person who did get shot was a white woman. Damn, why did I laugh at a white woman getting shot? That was wrong. But it is funny just throwing that out there. It is funny just throwing that out there, that they was out there wilding that bad. But black people, I think a lot of black people look at that as, yeah, some white men. White men are in power. Like when you, in a very blanket statement kind of way, say, white men are in power. You see something like January 6th, it's like, white men are in power. What are y'all trying to overthrow? You're trying to overthrow yourself, but they don't look at it like that. They look at it in terms of ideology. Emmett Perry says, yep, and she was, hold on. It says, yep, and she was shot by a black man. I didn't realize it was a black cop that shot her. That part I didn't realize. It should have been pandemonium for that one. they were supposed to burn down Pleasantville after that one and let a white woman get shot. Oh no. But anyway, all right. What the hell? You said Jack, you went to high school with the lady that died? Wow. That was some information that you could have divulged at some point.
They're like, we gotta get them out of office. Who? Us. Did you see the Capitol riots? Like, what kind of white planet of the ape shit was that? These motherfuckers are climbing up walls, taking a shit on Pelosi's desk. What the fuck? What would make white men think they losing the country? What? Because there's no more white couples in commercials?
Oh, almost forgot about that part. But before we get into that, no more white couples in commercials. Shout out to J. Freeman Blackman with the $20 super chat. Appreciate that.
I want 150,000. So we can set out of court right now for $20.
Man, get your...
Thank you very much for putting $20 on it. Do appreciate that. J. Freeman Blackman in the building says black people used to oppression. White people see it coming a mile away and act accordingly. That is an interesting take on that. And this is where I'm glad you said that, because you reminded me of something I wanted to say. This is where I can be divided at times, because I talk a lot about how basically the wokies who are okay with people coming in here illegally, granting them free citizenship because they're people. You don't call people illegal, you know. Okay, all of those policies that's going to make white people a minority in the country is going to make them lose their power. So there's a part of me that says, you know what? Let's sit back and let the wokies work, but I can't stand the wokeness. I can't stand the wokeness because I don't like black men getting in on the wokeness. I don't like black men talking about safe spaces. I want black men to move and operate and think and talk and act and behave like men. But to your point, black people used to oppression. White people see oppression coming a mile away. There are some white people who see like, wait a minute, hold on. We are going to end up losing this shit. Now, the ones who conceded them end up losing it. I do kind of agree with them. I do agree with them more politically. And I hate everything that the wokies stand for. But if white men lose part of their foothold, that means the country is more up for grabs for black men to take a larger share of it. So it's almost like, let's let all these purple-haired folks do what they do, you know. So, but so it is a level of being slightly divided. It is a level of being slightly divided where I can't stand with the wokies. I can't stand with them. I cannot stand with them. But a lot of the stuff that they're pushing through media, politically, and everything, I think it does essentially weaken the resolve of men, and by essentially, it's going to weaken the resolve of white men. So that's why, I think a lot of Hispanic Latinos, what they're talking about, hey, while they're over there slipping, over in China, they looking at what white men doing over here like that. They tripping. They making laws saying you can't put nothing that emasculates men or makes men look weak on TV. They're going hard. They're trying to breed masculinity into their men, and they seeing that masculinity getting drained out of men in the West. They're looking at it like that. But I think even in here, I think other groups, hell, even people coming from African countries, they're going hard on the whole, let's be strong, let's build, let's do this, let's do that. While they over there getting effeminized and walking around, they men walking around with purple and hair with blonde highlights and got weird highlights in their hair and stuff and all that shit, getting real egalitarian and everything. I think other groups and pockets within the United States is like rubbing their hands, stroking their beard, like we gonna take a little piece of this shit while they tripping. But the white men who see the writing on the wall with that, they're going to get called racist. It just is what it is. They're going to get called racist, and that's part of the strategy of the left. But the fact of the matter is, if that's where, even if you're not on the left politically, you're not on the left politically, you're not on the right politically, you stand with nobody, you should be looking at that as, yes, this country is up for grabs. Let's roll up our sleeves and compete. But no, they want black men to jump in line and dye their hair and complain and whine too instead of competing like men. So that's where I'm at with that. But shout out. Little Big Nate, he said some good stuff. In here, but it was some stuff in here that I know you got some disagreement with. Hey, he acknowledged that abortion is killing a baby. He said some stuff you like, but he said, shout out to Nate, he said, this was terrible special. Fuck Chris. This was a terrible special. Fuck Chris Rock. This is not the man from Bigger and Blacker. Just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, he straddled the fence. I can definitely say that. He straddled the fence. He made some good points, some points that we agree with, but he didn't want to defend certain people. Captain Cisco in the building says, is it true Will Smith I think you mean Will Smith want to sue.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
I hope that's not true. I walked away from after I got done, clowning Will Smith on my channel about the slap. I walked away from it saying that, all right, he lost it. Everybody been clowning him, or as Chris Rock say later in the stream, I'm gonna play it, where he basically said everybody was calling him a bitch, rightfully so, and he finally lost it and he snapped and he took it all out on Chris Rock. And Will Smith, in an interview with Trevor Noah, all but said that. Will Smith all but said, "Look, man, I lost it." He didn't break down the details as to why, but he admitted that he lost it, and we know why he lost it, because he just been getting dragged through the mud over what his wife been doing, and he lost it. After that, I was saying, yeah, he was on some bitch ass shit, and he still is. But I was on some. I can still rock with Will Smith. And we'll rock with him in the sense that I enjoy his movies. That's what I came away with. Time heals all wounds. I can enjoy Will Smith movies, is what it is, because he makes some good movies. He got some classics under his belt. So. But if this is true, that Will Smith wants to sue Chris Rock for slander after this, if that's true, then I'm done. I'm done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I support full boycott. You better not. Whatever Chris Rock dish out to Will Smith, he just got to take it. That's the deal. That is what it is. Hold on. That is the deal. That is the deal. Whatever whatever Chris Rock dish out to Will Smith, he got to take it. It's just he better not fix his mouth to say anything. He better not fix his mouth to say anything in response. He said he should sue. We need that. No, we don't. No, we don't. All right, let me well, I don't even know if I played all that I want to play right there. Hold on. Come on now. Now there we go.
What the fuck? What would make white men think they're losing the country? What? Because there's no more white couples in commercials?
Oh, yeah, this part.
There's no black couples either. Every commercial has a mixed race couple. Everything. Shit, I saw a commercial the other day. Saw a Japanese woman married to a caterpillar. The kids were squirrels.
Now, one thing that I've been saying, and y'all been hearing me say this, y'all probably thought I was tripping, but y'all been hearing me say this for a while, that every commercial, it's a mixed race couple. Now, black people interpret that as they're trying to destroy the black family. White people interpret that, some white men interpret that as they're trying to destroy the white nuclear family and breed us out. Reality is that's just some advertisement. Show an Asian kid, a black wife, and a white man, in a Hispanic or Latino neighbor. It's like you get everybody. Just put a big melting pot. Like Family Guy did a joke about that. It'd be unrealistic diversity in the commercials and stuff. But everybody look at it. Everybody go crazy and apply all their agenda to that. So I do get exactly where he's coming from. Nate says he's too much of a coward to say that. Too much of a coward to say what? Oh, every commercial is gay. Woo. Yeah. He touched on, he said this. He said it was a time when if you wanted somebody's job, you had to outwork them. Now you just have to catch them saying something stupid. Like, so I'm going to a gay wedding. What's your thoughts on that? Catch them saying something stupid. Get them talking about a gay wedding so you can, go and out them. Get them doing that. So he's acknowledging he's acknowledging some things. He's acknowledging some things, Nate. He ain't going for a gangster. We don't know, and then granted, we don't know how deep. We don't know how deep it runs with him. We don't know how deep it runs with him. So I don't know if he's being a coward or if he's straddling the line exactly where he's at. You said it's not stupid, it's truth. Why did he call it stupid? What are you saying that he called what are you saying that he called stupid? I didn't got mixed up. I'm too far along. You know what's funny? When I saw Hoop Jargon's logo, I thought that was a Netflix logo, like Netflix pulled up on me. Right when I saw Hoop Jargon logo, I thought from far away that looked like the Netflix logo. I was like, hold up. I thought Netflix pulled up on me. Gonna be coming here with that Netflix looking logo. But apparently Captain Cisco is saying Jada put out a statement. They better not try to sue. They better just hold the L. They better hold the L. Whatever Will put out, that's what they got to take. Whatever Will put out, that's what they got to take. But all right, let me keep it moving along. I don't want to play too many parts. I do want to get to the main course.
Racist is so racist. Some of that shit she went through was not racism.
You talking about Meghan Markle? When Meghan Markle went being a victim, called out a lot of people being a victim. Talking about when Meghan Markle went being a victim, went all on, I forgot where she was at, Oprah. It was something was a documentary on Netflix, and they were so racist. He called out that shit. So it's like the aspects of woke culture. It's like, and I always say this, and I know I always say this. It starts out not politically, not policy. It starts out more cultural at first. It's normally a cultural movement that's coming from just the people, from a grassroots standpoint. And then once you see that type of outcry coming from the folks, from the people, then you start seeing politicians singing a different tune, and then you start seeing policies that reflect what the people are saying that they ultimately want. And so I think that it's a grassroots movement where everybody is pushing back. Everybody is pushing back against the wokeness that has gone way too far.
It was just some in-law shit.
Right there, you're saying Meghan Markle. Well, she wasn't going through some of the stuff she was going through. It wasn't racism. It was just some normal in-law stuff that people go through.
Sometimes it's just some in-law shit. Because she's complaining. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was going to be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's going to be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby going to be.
That ain't the absolute truth. That ain't the absolute truth. It'd be mostly the women be doing all kind of stuff. Something that I found out on this show. Actually, I found this out from Edward Anderson, that checking behind the ears thing to see how dark the baby is behind the ears. Like we have practically, scientifically peer-reviewed tested and studies and ways to determine the final form of the pigmentation of the baby. We are desperately wanting to know how dark this baby is going to be. And get out of there, Jameson Wagner, because we be talking about that the paternity fraud levels. Yep. We be wanting to know. If you dark, she dark, and that baby come out light, you got questions. And it's so hard with us, with black folks, because a lot of babies who end up dark, if you look at the fresh and newborn, fresh out the womb picture, they be pale as ever. They be pale as ever. That's why people be checking the back of the ears. That's why people be checking little odd spots to see, oh, look at the elbows. We can tell how dark he gonna be. You know, we obsessed with that. So you can't knock them for fingertips. What? No. Who said that? Body Thug? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? People check fingertips? Everybody's fingertips are the same color, no matter how dark you are on this side. On this side, your fingertips are... What you mean fingertips? You clowning. How could you check fingertips to see how dark somebody gonna be? I tell you, you could check the knuckles. You could check knuckles, elbows, and the back of the ear. Oh, that's a new one. That's a new one. See, I be learning new stuff every day messing with y'all. People be checking the nail bed to see how dark the bed. Oh man. Like, we in a bad place because, like, look, if you white and you get a white woman pregnant and that baby come out dark, it's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. She was getting down on you. If you dark and she dark and that baby come out light, or if you dark and she light and that baby come out light, you kind of got to give it, unless you get a DNA test, you kind of got to give it a month. You kind of got to give it a month before you like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't mine. Like, that's one huge disadvantage. That is one huge disadvantage. But yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's that wanting to know how dark a baby gonna be. That is a very, very curious thing. I'm gonna skip ahead a little more, but he said, yeah, black folks, we want to know if this is gonna be a Steph Curry baby or a Draymond Green baby. We be wanting to know that. Just flat out. I'm gonna skip ahead I'm actually gonna skip a larger part of it, but some of the highlights of what he was talking about there. He did talk about younger men and older women. Younger women and older men. He did do some jokes on that because, you know, he's divorced. He said he ain't trying to, you know, he said I didn't become this successful, make all this money to just sit around talking about Anita Baker. He's like, I'm trying to fuck Doja Cat. He made some jokes like that, talking about, you know, older men and younger women and the perks and the benefits and all of that. And he talked about you know, the beauty difference in a woman, how female beauty means so much, to the point to where Beyonce could get Jay-Z. If Beyonce was working at Burger King and Jay-Z was a billionaire mogul, Beyonce could still get Jay-Z, but Jay-Z working at Burger King, he ain't got a snowball's chance in hell at pulling Beyonce. They're basically the same type of stuff that we be saying around these parts. So you already know the deal. I mean, Chris Rock, for a long time, he been saying a lot of stuff that would be considered red pill. He been saying that for a while. So it's you know, I can't just say, oh yeah, he be listening to a lot of content creators on this side of the internet. I just can't absolutely positively say that. But it would shock me. It would shock me if he didn't. Because he says he's been saying a lot of stuff. He wasn't as, you know, witted as Patrice O'Neal. But he's always been, you know, in the know. There's a lot of clips we can pull of Chris Rock where he's just saying a lot of real shit. So, and he did the same with this one. And he took some jabs at the wokies, but straddled the fence. All right, let's see where we at. This is my favorite part right here.
Ever notice how you can tell what kind of neighborhood you in just by who's not working? Think about it for one second. You can tell what kind of neighborhood you're in just by who's not working. If you're in any neighborhood in America at 12:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and you see women with sweatpants on, coming out the gym, pushing babies, riding bikes, that's right, having brunch, going to Soul Cycle, chances are you're in a nice neighborhood. There's probably a Whole Foods nearby. That's right. Wherever women ain't working is an amazing place to live.
Uh-oh.
That's where I want to live. I want to live in a place where women are voluntarily not working.
You had to catch yourself. You had to catch yourself and say, I want to live in a place where women are voluntarily not working. But he said it boldly, saying he wants to live in a place where women are not working. Shout out to Hood Conservatives, talking about oppress women and take their rights away. But anytime you go to any place if women are not working, it is a wonderful place to be. If the women are walking around in jogging pants, riding bicycles, and pushing strollers, you are in an excellent neighborhood. If the women are not, if it's 12:15 in the afternoon, and no woman is at a job, you're probably in a good neighborhood. Now, here we go. Let's see the inverse.
Is where I want to live. Now, let's switch it up. If you in any neighborhood in America at 12:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and you see men in sweatpants, smoking cigarettes, hanging with their boys, lifting weights in the yard, riding children's bicycles as their actual transportation, then you are in danger.
Oh, man. It's like no commentary is necessary after that one. I practically don't have nothing to add to that. The only thing, unfortunately, we know what we know what neighborhood, we know what community, or dare I say community, he was describing with the latter. And we know what communities he was describing with the former. All right. He didn't apply race to it. But that simple statement is that you could tell if you're in a good neighborhood or a good community based off who's not working. You got women not working. You are in a absolutely, positively, 100% functioning society, neighborhood, or dare I even say country. Show me a country where the women don't work. You in a great country. Wait a minute. I don't know if that's true. Because wait, hold on. Maybe I went too far. I know some people in here don't got a problem with it, but you know, there is the Taliban. There's the Taliban. Some of y'all don't got a problem with the Taliban brothers, because they got their women in line over there. But either way it go, the simple general principle is that if we talking about a neighborhood, we talking about he's at the Middle East. Yeah. I had to catch myself. I can't get jiggy with stoning them to death. That's why Chris Rock stopped short and said voluntarily. Any community, any neighborhood where women are voluntarily, get out of there, Mike. He said, where women are voluntarily not working is a great community. And so he was talking about the Black community when he made that statement. So well done by Chris Rock on that one. You see the men and the 12th in the afternoon, walking around in jogging pants with their boys, hanging out, smoking cigarettes. You see the women in the jogging pants leaving the gym. You see men in jogging pants working out around that same time. Nah. We talking about a different thing. We talking about one, we talking about a community that functions, and the other one, we talking about a community that doesn't function. Now, somebody is pointing out Section 8. It's some Section 8 communities where women are not working. Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there, son, is out raw. I got to give you that point. I got to give you that point. I got to give you that point. I got to give you that one. Good call. Good call on that one. But all right. Now we got to get to the meat and potatoes. Got to get to the meat and potatoes. Shout out to in all black Nike suits. Yeah. Sir Tice in the building. What's going on? All right. Now we got to get to the meat and potatoes. Now, this is where I was disappointed. I was disappointed because I waited, much like all of you, a year to hear Chris Rock speak on this, and he only spoke on it. Okay, this is a 1 hour and I can't really tell. It's like a 1 hour and 8 minute video, 1 hour and 8 minute show. I'm at the 1 hour and 7 minute and 13 second mark, and he's just now about to start talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. That's why I was disappointed. Because he left a lot of meat on the bone. He could have went in like a whole year of piled up jokes. He could have went ham. He could have went off, and I'm disappointed. I am disappointed that we only got to hear a 7-minute rant of him going off on Will and Jada. Very disappointed about that. And it's to the point to where most of what he said, you heard it on the internet already. Disappointed about that. Now, Afro National says it was a cash grab. You don't blame, he's saying this is cash grab and you don't blame him. I think it's also can be a cash grab as well as roasting their ass for at least 30 minutes out of the hour. It's also a cash grab. So that's why I can't get jiggy with the whole idea of him only dedicating 7 minutes to it. It's like, nah, that ain't enough. But anyway, here it is.
Everybody knows.
Real quick, after he made that Jay-Z joke about Beyonce could get Jay-Z if she was working at Burger King, but Jay-Z couldn't get Beyonce if he was working at Burger King. But he said, but that's not a diss to Jay-Z because I don't want another rapper mad at me. And then that's how he segued into the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett whole little thing.
Everybody fucking knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. Fucking last week, I got smacked in the fucking Oscars by this motherfucker. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ear. Fucking drums, please. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying. You will never see it.
Big ups to him for that. He didn't take no interviews. He didn't get on nobody's couch. He didn't play the victim. You gotta give him that. He basically said, I'm gonna talk about it when I can get paid for it. So he just basically just said, yeah, I'm gonna keep on, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, and I'm gonna get that money for it. So, respect that.
Never gonna happen. I couldn't believe it, and I love Men in Black. No, it's never gonna happen. No. Fuck that shit. I took that hit like Pacquiao, motherfucker. I took it like motherfucking Pacquiao, okay? Shit, man. Did it hurt? Yeah, motherfucker, it hurt. And people are, well, you guys are fighting all the time. We're not fighting. First of all, I know you can't tell on camera. Will Smith is significantly bigger than me.
Somebody look up. It's probably be hard to find. It probably will be hard to find, but somebody look up for me to see how much he got paid by Netflix for this. Nate says Pacquiao hits back. Do you agree with me though, Nate, that he was in a legitimate catch-22? Because if he don't hit him back, he looks like a punk. But if he do hit him back, we got two black men on the Oscars in tuxedos rolling around on the ground in a full-blown fist fight. It's a lose-lose. You know, if he don't hit him back, he make Will Smith look bad. If he do start swinging back at Will Smith, every nigga on earth look bad. It's that's the those are the rules. That is the deal. You take that on the chin, Will Smith look horrible. If you fight him back, everybody black in America looks horrible. Those are the rules. I didn't make them up. So, but shout out to my man, Sir Tice, coming through, putting $10 on the super chat in. Do appreciate that. Shout out to you. Appreciate it.
You to loan me $10. I know you got $10.
Yeah, I got it. You know why I got it? Because I don't throw my money away on them streets.
Shout out to you. Appreciate you putting $10 on it. Says, shout out to Chris Rock because he is a better man than me. Great patience. Those Oscars would have been like a Popeye's chicken sandwich line fight with me, and it's still F. Willard Smith for me. Yeah, I hear you, but that's a lose-lose. That's a lose-lose. I don't envy that position. I don't envy that position at all. So RM, I think, went and did the research on that question, and she says, according to a 2016 report from the Hollywood Reporter, this is the question of rather how much Will Smith got paid for this. According to a 2016 report from the Hollywood Reporters, Rock's Saturday special was part of a $40 million deal he made with Netflix for 2 stand-up specials, though Netflix has not confirmed the amount Rock was paid per deal. THR, I don't know what that is. THR wrote at the time, I think that's Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter wrote at the time, the $20 million per special is believed to be more than such A-list comedians as Louis C.K., Jerry Seinfeld, and Amy Schumer have commanded. Okay. The $20 million special. Okay, so that's kind of not cool. That mean that's, put it like this. If he already had a deal done before the slap, then they kind of had him by the balls. Like, if they didn't have a deal drawn up before the smack, he literally could, man, get out of there, who Monique turning over in her grave. If this is where I'm at with it, and start at one. That's one from Sir Tice. Oh wait, I got it. But this is where I'm at with it. If he didn't already have the deal done, he could have said, I'm going to name it Fuck Will Smith. Y'all ain't paying me $20 million for it. Y'all paying me $40 million for it. I'm going to get so many new Netflix subscribers. I'm going to do the whole hour going in on Will Smith. He could have named it Fuck Will and Jada and argued for $50 million. Because if they advertised the hell out of it for 3 months, that Chris Rock doing a live stand-up called Fuck Will and Jada live on Netflix, everybody who everybody who don't got a Netflix account, they gonna sign up just to get on for that episode. They gonna sign up just to get on to catch that live. That'd be like the Super Bowl. But if he was already under contract and had to do a special, I understand him just doing a regular special and then giving 7 minutes to Will and Jada. That kind of makes sense. Now I understand why he left a lot of meat on the bone and didn't spend at least 30 minutes going in on them. I kind of understand that now. If he was already under contract, and had to do it, that actually kind of makes sense. But I'm still mad because I wanted like 30 minutes of nonstop Chris Rock jokes against Will and Jada. But anyway, 1 month Netflix. Now you know how they get you. They get you to sign up for the free trial for 7 days, and your black ass forget, and then they get you, and then you forget again, and they get you, and then they done got you for 6 months, and you only watched it 5 times during those 6 months. You know how they get you. But all right, let's go ahead and play the rest of it. And then I'm going to open it up and hear what Nate had a lot to say. So I'm going to hear what Nate got to say, hear what a lot of people got to say. Let's go.
Not the same size, okay? We are not. It's got this. I know you can't tell on camera. Will Smith is significantly bigger than me. We are not the same size, okay? We are not. It's got this guy. Will Smith does movies with his shirt off. You've never seen me do a movie with my shirt off. If I'm in a movie getting open heart surgery, I got on a sweater. Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. You think I auditioned for that part? He played Muhammad Ali. I played Pookie in New Jack City.
Just a little funny side note. Whenever we talking about a black man who ain't shit, we say Pookie. It's not even from that character, but anyway.
Pookie, motherfucker. I played a piece of corn in Pootie Tang. Shit, even in animation, this motherfucker's bigger. I'm a zebra, he's a shark. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was a bad joke. He didn't play a shark. He was in Shark Tales, but he didn't play a shark. He played a fish that was kind of a punk-ass fish. But anyway. That Chris Rock is the OG Pookie. Yeah. Yeah. This art imitating life. Yeah. If you're ever going to be known for how much for one rib? One order of ribs? No. One rib. I surely is hungry.
But Will Smith practices selective outrage. Because everybody knows what the fuck happened. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that shit. I didn't have any entanglements. I did not have any entanglement. And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, Wilson and his wife was fucking her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit. But for some reason, these niggas put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why 2 talented people would do something that fucking low down. What the fuck? We all been cheated on. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. None of us. They're like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's dick. How did that make you feel?
That was arguably the funniest joke too. But again, the internet ruined that one. All his good jokes, the internet kind of ruined them. Now, that is an interesting theory, Nate, if you're saying that she was smashing the son's friend and the son's friend was probably smashing the son, seeing as August is now gay, and Jaden Smith has always been suspect. So yeah, got a fair theory. Fair enough theory on that one. That you never heard none of these jokes. Oh no, that was the funniest one. That was the one. The internet ruined that one for me. But when I saw that one, I went and the one about getting interviewed by the person who cheated on you. You get interviewed on TV by the person who's cheated on you. Yeah, no, that one. Yeah, I mean that's classic Chris Rock wittiness to even think of putting it that way. Out of all the back and forth everybody has had talking about the entanglement, he probably been sitting on that one since whenever the entanglement gate happened. What was that, 2020? You know, he probably been sitting on that one for a while. So yeah, he definitely did the damn thing right there. Clan of pansexuals over there, allegedly. Yeah, allegedly. He said he didn't need to know that theory. Yeah. It's all bad. But this thing is almost at its conclusion. I'm playing a little bit more before I get struck down.
Why the fuck would you do that shit? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? And by the way, he does that shit. Everybody in the world called him a bitch. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me.
It's funny if that one is true. If Will Smith actually if Chris Rock tried to actually reach out to Will Smith on that. That's interesting. That's very interesting if he tried to reach out to him and he didn't reach out. But everybody else, he didn't reach back, but everybody else clowned him and dragged him for it. Chris Rock, who's a comedian, never said a mumbling word about that. But he's going to hit Will Smith. Going to hit Chris Rock over a alopecia joke. It's like, that was stupid, Will. That was stupid.
Everybody called that man a bitch. Fucking Charlemagne called him a bitch. The Breakfast Club called him a bitch. And The View and The Talk and every rapper and the Drink Champs called him a fucking bitch. Everybody called him a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he knows he could beat. That is some bitch ass shit. That's what the fuck happened, okay? The fuck out of here, man. The fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, it take a lot as a man to admit that you just a man that Will Smith know that he can beat. Now, I don't know the height and weight difference. I know Will Smith about 6'2" and played Ali, and Chris Rock, I think, is like 5'7" and played Pookie. That was a joke that he made earlier, but yeah, that's still an L to have to admit that. It's still an L to have to admit that. But be that as it may, roll the rest of it and open it up for your thoughts and your commentary.
Nothing to this motherfucker, okay? His whatever. Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for Emancipation. The biggest piece of shit ever, okay? And then so the nigga gives me a fucking concussion. No, not Emancipation. I fucked up the joke. Concussion. She fucking said he should quit.
He ruined the joke. He botched the joke. And that's the problem with doing live. That's the problem with doing it live on Netflix. But with Jada Pinkett Smith got mad because Will Smith didn't get nominated for concussion. And then Chris Rock made a joke about it. And then he got mad and gave her a concussion. That's the theory that a lot of people that was trying to justify Will Smith being mad, they was trying to go back to 2016 and try to say that back when Chris Rock hosted the Oscars back in like 2015 or 2014 or whenever the hell that was, Chris Rock was making jokes about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, and he was saying, Jada Pinkett boycotting the Oscars, and Chris Rock was like, that's like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I was never invited. Nobody invited your ass to the Oscars. They tried to make it seem like it was some Marvel origin story as to why the Smiths had a problem with Chris Rock, which it wasn't. No. It was all of the shit that Chris Rock got, that Will Smith got dragged for, because his wife basically was cheating on you with your son's friend, and then you had to go get interviewed by her. And so shout out to the Chris Rock joke we just heard. So I sucked his dick. How does that make you feel? like yeah. So it all came to a boil, and he snapped and took it all out on Chris Rock. That's what it was. So anybody who was trying to make that, he's debunking the whole notion. He said the Pinkett's. Yeah, that's what I meant. I was calling him Will Pinkett for a while. But anybody who was trying to make it seem like this was some ongoing thing, it wasn't. It wasn't some ongoing thing. All the anger he had and frustration for everything that his wife had his name dragged through the mud for, he took it all out on Chris Rock. That's what it was. End of.
Will didn't get nominated for concussion. What the fuck? So did I do some jokes about it? Who gives a fuck? That's how it is. She starts it, I finish it, okay? That's what the fuck happened. Nobody's picking on this bitch. She started this shit. Nobody was picking on her. Nobody was picking on her. She said, a fucking grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for concussion. And then this nigga gives me a fucking concussion, okay? What the fuck, man? I love Will Smith. My whole life, I love this nigga. I saw him open up for Run DMC at the Nassau Coliseum. These niggas made brand new funk. I love this nigga. He made some great movies. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I root for this motherfucker, okay? And now, I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got him.
That was another joke that, again, the internet ruined for me. That was another one that the internet ruined. The internet put all the jokes out there before I even got a chance to, I'm just scrolling down Instagram, and I'm seeing a flash of the jokes being posted up there. So it's like the internet kind of ruined it for me. The internet ruined it for me. Now I'm ruining it for y'all, but if y'all ass here, I forgot to say, spoiler alert. But anyway, so like I said, that was, and that's almost, I won't say that's it. Hold on. That was you said that was the best joke? You think that was the best one? No. To getting interviewed by the person who cheated on you, Joe. That was the best one. The Emancipation one was all right. But the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to join the conversation. I see Lil Big Nate is already in the back. Let me roll the rest of this. It's about to be over in 30 seconds.
From Massa, okay? Hit him again, Massa. Hit him again. You missed the spot, Massa. You missed the spot. A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? I got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
All right. And that was it. And the Mr. Spot part was funny. The Mr. Spot part was funny. But be that as it may, we are joined by, let me see, get my headsets on. We are joined by the one and only Little Big Nate in the building.
What's up, Mr. Riley? How you doing, sir?
What is going on?
Yeah, my right hand to God, Brother Bernard. I watched this last night. I said, let me go and watch this.
Okay. I didn't know that you saw it. But
I swear to God, I saw it last night, dog. So I'm watching it, and I swear to God, I'm like talking to the television while it's playing. I even missed some of the stuff because I was like talking to the television, like calling out the inconsistencies. And there was one huge glaring contradiction
Okay.
that Mr. Rock made. Now, first and foremost, gentlemen in the chat, ladies, if you're a fan of Chris Rock, God bless you. I'm not the guy that tries to tell people how to think about their personal preferences. God bless you. If you think he's the greatest comic ever, man, salute to you. This is not the Chris Rock from Bigger and Blacker. That was like 99, 2000. Never Scared, Kill the Messenger. That was a completely different comic. A cutting edge, dynamic, revolutionary comic. This guy is not that. I'm sorry. It's just not that. And here's your glaring contradiction. Of course, he dances around the subject of the Transformer monsters and homosexuals. Every time he said something, he prefaced it with, I love everybody. I love everybody. I love homosexuals. I love the trans people. I got your contradiction. Now, you only can really get this from a guy like Little Big Nate because I'm probably the only guy that caught it. So, Mr. Rock, you love everybody. Transformer monsters, homosexuals, fine. You love everybody except unborn children because you're okay with them being terminated. You don't love them. I was kind of shocked at the hatred towards children. And again, I know these are jokes, but this is the problem, folks. You celebrate and you're scared and you're dancing around the issue of the Transformers and the homosexuals. He said it like 5 or 6 times. I love everybody. And he even gave the hand motion. I love everybody. I love it. I love my gays. I love my gays. I love them. But you're okay with killing children. Now, one of the most horrific aspects of this, of course, he's in Baltimore.
Wait, hold on real quick. Before you go further, what do you think about the fact that he did acknowledge, though? He didn't dance around he was like, he was basically saying, I support abortion. Now, he made the joke that I think a lot of comedians have made. I support abortion. Hell, nobody's paid for more abortions than me. He made that joke.
No. I can respect him.
He acknowledged that it is killing a baby. Yeah, he basically was saying you can't skirt around that one. It's killing a baby. And even Bill Burr made that same joke. Is that I'm pro-choice, but I do think it's killing a baby. He's like nobody. So there's and I guess you could probably say it's still an inconsistency there because you can then ask, okay, why are you okay with killing the baby? But then you can fall back saying, okay, how much of it is a joke and how much of it isn't? But I do like the fact that I think it's a lot of men who are, who okay with certain degrees of wokeness, but they're not playing around with the whole thing of, it is killing a baby. Like he did acknowledge that part.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I've talked about that on your show. Leftists actually not playing semantics and actually say what it is. You've heard me say that. Just say what it is. I might have a modicum of respect for you.
Yeah.
However, why, if you're this edgy revolutionary comic, why are you dancing? Even if you don't think the baby thing is a problem, all you guys in the chat that have a problem with what I'm saying, why did he dance around the Transformer and the homosexual thing? Why is it, I love them. I love them. He said it like 6 or 7 times. Respond to that. I'd love to see what you have to say about that.
He's still trying not to get canceled by them. And,
But, whoa, you're Chris Rock. You're Bigger and Blacker. You have never shied away, 15 years ago. You didn't shy away from the most controversial subjects of the day. But you dancing around this Transformer thing, and don't forget the joke where he said, "I would be the voice of reason if my father became a woman." He said, "Oh yeah, Little Big Nate gets it all. I get it all." So your brother is a real man. He's a truck driver. He's a man. He's a man's man. He would have a problem with your father, like I think any normal man would, mutilating himself to become something he never could. But you listen to the words these leftist niggas use. He said, I would be the voice of reason. So the voice of reason defends their father becoming a woman. You can't get by me on this shit. I told you, I've slaughtered liberals for years. So you're the voice of reason if your father becomes a woman. That's another pandering to these nightmare people. I'm sorry, this isn't humor. It's not funny. It's not comedy. It sure as hell isn't edgy. No thanks.
Absolutely.
Well said. Well said. I see where you're coming from with that. In my second viewing, that part of it, I did because I was skipping around because I was trying to find the parts that I wanted to talk about for the show. So I did miss that part in my second viewing. So no, interesting points understood by Nate. And I think the gentleman who just joined the show has some agreement with you.
So, I definitely agree
with shout out to Blacks Who Defy. Interesting name, but go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You got the mic.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I absolutely do agree with Little Big Nate. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you as well, sir. Thank you for allowing me up. I have not watched the special. I've seen the highlights. You know, they keep posting it. Like you said, the jokes were kind of ruined for you because you saw them before you saw the special. So I've only seen those jokes, but I just think Chris Rock is still a has-been, and or never was. I never found him particularly good, but I
disagree with that one. I disagree strongly with that one. But carry on.
I mean, there are instances where he could be funny, but I never found him funny at all. I thought he was just corny as much as anything else. But I do wish he would have expounded a little bit more. He would have had a few more jokes pertaining to that, because again, the consensus was everyone was disappointed more than anything because he didn't talk very much about that whole situation. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
You know, I appreciate and respect him calling out Jada Pinkett Smith. I think that was that last 3-4 minutes, however long it was the best part of the show. You know, having the courage to call her a bitch. I absolutely applaud that. That was beautiful. I'm serious. I got a tear in my eye. He had enough courage, because I thought that would have been off limits. Yeah, you know, I'll whoop on Will, but you know, I'll take it easy on Jada. No, he called her a bitch, and that's reminiscent of the 1999. You young cats need to go watch Bigger and Blacker if you think this is funny. I'm sorry. There was very little humor in this special.
Yeah,
very little humor. I'm sorry, but you want to see Chris Rock? You're gonna have to go back 23, 24 years. That's what you got to do, and you'll see an actual comic. People comparing him to Eddie Murphy. I can't remember what that 84 special was for Eddie Murphy. You know, where he talked about Michael Jackson and all that
where he wore the entirely
leather, the red leather. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that's my thing.
Them to him back in the day.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know he was I thought your take on his homosexuality tropes was interesting. First of all, again, I didn't watch it, but he really said that, huh? He really said that.
Well, said what?
Said he, he said it without saying that he would have been a voice of reason.
Yes, when talking to his brother about his father mutilating himself and become a woman, I would be the voice of reason to my brother who's upset and angered by it. Dog,
I had no idea that his father.
You're such a coward to dance around these nightmare issues. I can't respect you. You can respect them in the chat. I can't respect them. Sorry. You think it's no big deal. Oh man, y'all love niggas too much.
They do.
Have the courage to critique him. Okay, I'm not tearing him down. I'm critiquing the job he did. I told you 23, 24 years ago, it was brilliant. Kill the Messenger, brilliant. This stuff, to me, it's not brilliant. Don't get mad at me because I'm not liking this, please. Okay?
Oh, no.
Not you, but there's some.
Oh, no, I'm just saying in general. In general, your views are definitely welcome. I mean, one could argue that you're putting too much onus on a comedian, but at the same time, I think that's kind of the wave with comedians like Chris Rock, like Dave Chappelle, they do give a social commentary. They are the push. Like comedians do represent the people who can get away with saying it. So when you do see them treading lightly on things, it's like he's kind of giving in to it. But at the same time, I do think there's a part of him that does. It's a part of him that does agree with that stuff. Mm-hmm.
He's Hollywood, of course.
Yeah, I mean he's Hollywood. He's woke.
Yeah,
but he does see some aspects of it as some nonsense. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So but we'll keep it.
It's nonsense. They just want to keep that bag flowing, and I understand.
If I could, one more thing before Hood and Game Changer talk.
Yeah.
One more glaring contradiction. If you look at the special, when he's talking about other people's children, and to see all those black women in that nightmare city of Baltimore just sitting there clapping for this shit just makes my fucking blood boil, dog. But notice when he was talking about other people's children, kill a baby. And I respect that to a certain degree because, again, he's not playing semantics. He's being honest, and I can respect that. But did you notice when he talked about his daughters, he said, I want my daughters to have the freedom of choice. Why didn't he say, I want my daughters to have the right to kill my grandchildren? Because that's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Have the balls to be a man and be morally consistent. That's all I'm asking. That's it.
Nah, interesting point. We are joined by Armstrong's. You go ahead and okay, good. I couldn't see you. I couldn't see your full name. You're fine. But go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Yeah, I agree with Little Big Nate. I did see it. There were some inconsistencies there, and there was a bit of ambiguity because it seems like at one moment, he would, spew things that we would hear in the manosphere, and it's like, oh, these are talking points that the manosphere talk about. And then there was another point where it's like, oh, but I'm for everyone. I'm for the LGBTQ and all this and that. So I was like, where do he lie, with the viewers? Do he lean left? Do he lean right? And at first I thought that he used, I love everyone and I love everything as a segue, to try to say that, hey, you guys are murdering babies. But then, as Little Bit Nate said again, he said, I would want my daughters to have the same right to murder said babies. So, it left me confused again. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't really get where he was going with that. But yeah, I watched the whole thing. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't, what I was expecting as far as, him really addressing the situation with Will them in the beginning. He did it towards the end, so I thought that was pretty cool. But as far as that, I think that he was pandering to the crowd. He was in a predominantly blue state, from what I understand. So he knew his audience, and I believe he pandered to them, and he didn't really want to get canceled. So that's what I took from it. I did like what Little Big Nate says, and I do agree with the vast majority of his points.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on up. What'd you say your name was? I don't got the names on there to
Armstrong. I mean, you can say Armstrong. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks for coming up and giving your thoughts on it. All right, Hood Conservative in the building. So you got the floor. You got the mic. Definitely interested to hear what you got to say on this. Go ahead. Mic check on Hood Conservative.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Come back to me in 1 minute. I'm in a bad spot. Give me a second.
All right. We could just, in case you can hear me, we could hear you. I don't know if you could hear us. Hopefully you could. But all right, GC, you got the floor. You got the mic.
Okay, thank you. So the most prophetic thing that Chris Rock said during the interview was that you used to have to be bigger, or you used to have to be better than the person whose job you want, if you wanted to take their job.
Yeah.
And then he went on to say, now you just look for them to say the wrong shit and then bring it up and take their shit. Now, the reason why that's prophetic, because that's exactly what the panel is doing now to Chris Rock. That shit is prophetic as fuck. Like, dudes are on here right now nitpicking everything like, oh no, he's a has-been, he's this because he said this, and I was reading the transcript and he said this, and I'm gonna focus in on this one thing that he said, so Netflix give me the $20 million because he don't go as hard as I do. That's what's going on right now.
Who
That nigga's
said
a prophet.
that? Who said
No
that?
one. He's obviously selectively hearing.
Yes,
No one said
that.
anything like that.
Yes,
what
I
are you
am.
talking about?
That is the sentiment. We could play semantics.
No, that's not the sentiment. That's
That
not
is
my
the
sentiment.
That is
whatsoever.
exactly what y'all, that is exactly.
No,
what
it isn't exactly.
No, sir,
You can't hear. You have cloth ears.
Semantics aside, that's exactly.
You have cloth ears.
I can
didn't
repeat
hear
what you just said.
Obviously,
the gentleman's done.
Okay, then who has the selective hearing?
You.
I mean,
I don't. Whoa. If we look at the special, it is not little nitpicking things. He did 6-7 minutes about killing babies. What are you talking about? Some of you guys are emotionally tied to this guy. I'm not emotionally tied to him. I'm simply judging the special. Like I said, I considered him brilliant
6 minutes
years ago.
What about the other hour?
I considered him brilliant.
What about the other hour? You're judging
No. It was an hour. 6-7 minutes out an hour is substantial, sir.
Oh God,
it's very substantial.
Okay.
He told several jokes about quote unquote killing the babies, but couldn't tell one joke about homosexuality or trans.
So is the other 56
That's clown shit.
That's very substantial as well.
Whoa. Talk about the homosexuality and trans.
The worst is good.
Talk about homosexuality and trans.
He said something that could be used against them, and it was by you. All I'm saying
didn't tell any jokes about homosexuals and trans.
All I'm saying is that he is prophetic. That is it. He is prophetic.
Come on, man.
You know, no matter what.
That doesn't work with me, dog.
No, that's not all you're saying. What you're saying was
I'm just talking about the prophecy of.
I'm too smart for that.
No, that's not what you said.
I know you came up here. You think you had something special. It's not special.
All smart people have to call themselves smart. I get it.
I haven't called myself smart.
I'm just saying that
I've laid out my case.
I'm calling him smart because he's prophetic in talking about the behavior of modern society.
All I did, I pointed out inconsistencies. I pointed out a contradiction.
That's it.
I pointed out a contradiction.
Oh, God.
Now, if that has you all wound up, I'm sorry. I pointed out the contradiction of not criticizing the LGBTQ P's, but having all this stuff to talk about babies. The baby stuff, I'm cool with. Talk about it. Why are you afraid to talk about the LGBTQ community?
He did.
He didn't tell any jokes about them. He told a joke about
Wait a minute. He literally told it.
He told a joke about his father and said, "I would be the voice of reason," saying my father's doing okay.
Yes, and he also
that's not a joke. That's a
Wait, Pablo, you breaking up kind of.
He's pandering. That's not a joke.
He literally told both sides. He told a joke on both sides of the issue. Listen, he said, "Yes, I would try to be the voice of reason and be like, oh, Dad wants to be Heather, you know, whatever. And then he said, but my brother would not be so welcoming."
No, the problem,
Pablo. Wait a minute. The social commentary behind the joke is this: that yes, I might be accepting of John calling himself Heather, but other people are not obligated to do so.
I disagree with you, sir, and this is why.
That is the literal social commentary behind the joke. And you used it. I might accept it. Other people are not like.
No.
All right, let's throw it back. Let's throw it back to Nate. You kind of broke up at the end, Pablo, but we got the gist of what you were saying. But
just real quick,
go ahead, Nate.
He said he didn't say my opinion on my dad's sex change would be. He said I would be the voice of reason, and my position is that it's okay. And my position as Nathaniel Burwell is that it's not, and it's destroying our society, and they're doing it to children. And that's the reason why he dances around it. That's why he said, I love these people. I love these people. You can't.
How is he?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Ridicules it and says it's crazy. And
he said the voice of reason, meaning I'm the voice of reason because I say it's okay. I say it's He said, "I'm the voice of reason, Pablo," because he says it's okay.
He's telling both sides of the coin,
No, Pablo,
sir.
you're wrong. You're wrong, Pablo. You're wrong.
Wrong.
All right.
No.
All right, just hold on a second. Hold on a second, Pablo. You you fading in and out. And okay, this is where I'm at with it. Okay, I do think that he tiptoed around it, but it is a fair question. Like I said before, how much of it is he really tiptoeing around it, or is it just that he's a woke Hollywood dude who holds that position that is not an issue for him? So it is.
And he told you that, but he also told you someone else is not obliged to be as accepting as I am.
He called it the voice of reason, and he says it was okay.
I'll put it like this: I'll criticize somebody if
he said it was okay for him.
I'll be more critical of him if I suspected that he actually held a position different from what he was saying, but he was tiptoeing and dancing around it because he didn't want to get canceled. I would say that he's not as, edgy and pushing the line as he used to be. He's yielding. But right now, I think it's fair to say we don't know if he's yielding because he's scared and they got him in check, or if he actually holds that woke position and is okay with it. But I do want to pass it. I do want to pass it to Hood Conservative on that. But real quick, before I do that, shout out to Mental Agility in the building with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for putting 5 on it. Said the difference between Chris and Dave is everyone gets the smoke, but Chris was selective.
I
agree with Little Big Nate. Chris was holding punches.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna fight you on that, but I think we're underestimating, even though they call out aspects of wokeness, these are some Hollywood liberals. So there's that.
Can I ask you a real quick question, Bernard?
But all right, go ahead. But then I do got to go to Hood Conservative.
He can joke about killing babies. Again, I got no problem with the jokes. None. Do your thing, Chris. 40% of trans people kill themselves. Can we get some jokes about that? Absolutely not. Bullshit, dog.
Is he required to tell those jokes?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's not necessarily.
Is he required to tell trans jokes?
Man, y'all tap dancing for this nigga, dog. Stop.
How's it tap dancing? And they don't have
all you doing is tap dancing for the nigga,
trans
dog.
joke mandate.
You won't do any jokes about those people.
So basically,
he won't do any jokes about them. And he has to tell the crowd how much he loves them.
Hold on, wait, real quick. In fairness, I think it's fair to criticize the jokes that he did, and if he mentioned it but danced around it, you can criticize him for that. But if he never mentioned something, I don't think you can criticize him for just not mentioning it. But you did rightfully criticize the aspects that where he tiptoed and danced around it and played nice, and it seemed like he was hiding or holding back a position on something. I think you can fairly criticize him on that. We'll come back to that. But Hood Conservative, go ahead. What you got? Hopefully you're ready.
Yeah, Nate. By the way, I've been trying real hard, and I haven't found a way to make transgender suicides funny. I tried. So there are some things where I agree with your sentiment. I just don't care because most comedy is like that now, bro. Nobody's really telling ballsy jokes anymore.
Tell them don't kill themselves.
Andrew Dice Clay, Hood.
Tell them not to kill themselves. Just identify as a dead person.
Dude, there are jokes that can be done, bro.
You know what? See, Bernard, I was trying to save you the trouble. You know what I mean? Because all the jokes about them are funny.
They should just change their identity on their livelihood. They can just identify as dead. That way they ain't got to kill themselves.
Oh, see, look, Bernard is brilliant. Boom. He's not even a comic, and he could do it. Chris Rock couldn't.
But see, no. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell you why. If Bernard had millions of dollars on the table, he would not tell that joke, and I wouldn't be all that mad at him. Let's just keep it about. Like that is the business. That is the business, right? And until comedy itself kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, no, even Chappelle only kind of tiptoed at the edge.
Chappelle had some balls, bruh.
Chappelle,
I'll give you that.
Don't call the bitches out on their abortion. I ain't paying for shit. I ain't paying for shit. You can kill the baby. I ain't
My
paying
wallet,
for
my
shit.
choice.
And he calls out these goddamn freaks.
Any of you niggas tell jokes? How y'all gonna sit and tell a multi-million-dollar comedian how to tell some fucking jokes? Get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not really like I get your sentiment, but I can't care about it that much.
My beliefs, Pablo.
For the exact reason that Pablo said, and for the same thing I said, bro. It's a business at the end of the day.
Whoa.
And
bro, it's comedy.
No, wait, hold on, Nate.
No, comedy is business, bro. No, look, Nate,
Hood Server
you and I
get his full shot off before we interject. Go ahead, Hood Server.
Us common folk on the in the slums of the internet, we can do comedy, right? Look, I'm driving my truck right now, and there's a dude hanging out the back of somebody's car dressed like Fred Flintstone. I don't know what the hell he's happy about, but boy, can you see him? Hold on.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, your thing's not big enough.
No, that didn't come out right.
Anyway, but my point is, regular people can do like the silly shit, right? But once you start getting to that stage, you get canceled. Other people's money get messed up. Like I understand the pressures. I don't like it, but I understand it. I don't have the same energy for it. But on a different note, though, bro, you waited a whole year. My biggest criticism is you waited.
Hood, you was on camera. Turn your camera off, man.
Oh, he dropped
down. Button works.
No. Yeah, I dropped it. There you go. You back.
Nah, it's all good. I'm not on the run no more. It's all good.
Right.
But no, he waited a whole year to tell jokes that we've been telling all this time. Like it was corny on that level. Like, bro, everybody knows. And look. At this point, calling a woman a bitch is not brave. I'm sorry, it's not. Especially after she did all that. So what? Because she's a famous black woman? That's not bravery.
Jada is a deity to these feminists. Her red table talks. Ooh, yeah, I respect him for calling her a bitch. I
think the whole thing was kind of lackluster. I think the whole thing was kind of like. You waited. It was a day late and $1 short. Put it that way.
Let me point this out real quick. Okay, so let's look at what our good friend Dave Chappelle did. Dave Chappelle went on his specials, called out this tranny, homosexual, abortion insanity, and he did it in probably the most blatant way possible yet for a comic. Netflix employees wanted him special taken off. They walked out of their job, all this sick leftist woke nightmare crap, and he sustained the barrage. He sustained it. He won. The only way we win this war against these monsters is for somebody to take it to the next level. Chris Rock could have took it to the next level, been a little more edgy. Let them come, let them complain, let them march and say,
Nate.
"Oh, we want this guy taken off."
Nate,
and then they lose again. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
The thing about it is, he is not a
Game changer.
You don't have an argument, GC. We don't have an argument against what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Nate.
Let Hood Server to finish. All right, go ahead. Go for it.
Fair enough, but go ahead, Nate. Go ahead and finish.
I was in completion. Dave Chappelle pushed the line to the very edge. I believe he could. He won the war against these monsters. Time for the next high-level A-list comic to push it out a little further, so we can finally topple these monsters and defeat them.
And the only thing I'll say to that, Nate, you said, and the only way we could win this war or whatever, like, perhaps Chris Rock is not in your army. Like, I don't think he.
Good point.
Good point. I don't think he is. I don't. So that I think that's probably the problem that you have, and you were expecting the Dave Chappelle sequel, and you didn't get it. I was pissed off because I was expecting I was expecting 30 minutes to an hour of just letting Will Smith and Jada Pinkett have it. That's why I was like, my first thought was this was trash. And then I went and watched it again for content purposes, and I was like, okay, it was some good jokes in there. But overall, I didn't like it just because I was expecting something that I didn't get. And I think
Bernard,
that's kind of what you're going through. I do. All right, go ahead.
Real quick, Bernard. How can you salvage comedy
unless you get rid of these litmus tests and these forbidden subjects. Comedy is going to die. Seinfeld talked about this. Several other comics have talked about this. Comedy can't even be what it's supposed to be until these sacred cows are slaughtered. Thank you.
All right. Real quick. Somebody got to mute up.
One thing though, his target, his
Hold on, real
enemy.
quick.
Let me just say this: his enemy isn't the gays.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Mental agility in the building. Hold on, real quick. Mental agility in the building says comedian joke on everyone. It's part of the game. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Do appreciate that. Now we got yeah, I mean all comedians are fighting a fight for, they're fighting a fight against cancel culture, but a lot of them don't draw hard lines, I guess on the right. A lot of them are still woke, but they in principle don't like that people get canceled for saying stuff because they know eventually that's going to come back that on them. We saw straight laced. We saw so many straight laced woke comedians who just had one slip up and get canceled. But
Bernard, how do you save the industry you love unless you battle this? They're going to lose the industry. These up and coming comics aren't going to be able to say anything. These older dudes should fight for the industry they love.
I agree.
Hey,
I agree. But hold on, real quick. We gotta hold on. Wait, Game Changer. I think Game Changer was trying to jump in, and then we still got. It was okay. Cool. Well, let me pass it. Let me keep it moving because Big Mike drop. Shout out to you. I ain't talked to you in a minute.
Man, what's up?
Big Mike drop in the building. What's going on? What
Big
you got?
Mike.
Man, what up, Nate? What up?
What up, big dog?
Man, cooler, man. I just caught y'all today, man. I'm like, I got to get on this one. This is Hey, look, I'll say this, man, and I ain't gonna be long. We can't forget that Chris Rock came with a specific mission. Didn't nobody want to hear anything else from Chris Rock. He had to come with a bunch of B-side jokes to fill up time. But we didn't want to hear anything else from Chris Rock but what he had to say about what happened to him last year.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, it was masterful down to wearing all white to make himself look more angelic as he just ripped their asses apart.
Yeah, but he only ripped their ass for 7 minutes, and I was disappointed.
That's all he needed.
Nah.
Look, what more could he have said?
I agree. That was a sufficient ripping.
Like, he couldn't have said any more. He hit all the key points. He hit all the key points. He made Will Smith. He's basically painted Will Smith into a corner. And what I was looking at was this was just a masterful game of chess. This was the little guy getting back at the big guy. Because at the end of the day, if you can't physically beat a motherfucker, you still got to beat the motherfucker. Excuse my French.
Oh, no, you good.
You still got to beat him. So this was his way of matching wits or outwitting Will Smith on the public stage, a very public stage that everybody's been waiting for almost a year to hear. I think he did great.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
If
he did it too much, it's petty.
Well, I don't think you can be petty when somebody slap you on the Oscar stage. I don't think you can be petty in your response.
If he'd have done an hour and a half of bald-headed jokes, and your wife's a whore jokes, and your son probably fucked the same nigga your wife
legendary.
fucked, like that would have been bro. Come on. How your whole house fucking the same nigga?
It was the subtleties. It was the subtleties down to doing it in her hometown, going off on her, and not getting no kind of smoke. That shit was masterful, bro. Like that's Machiavelli.
What do you gentlemen and to make it funny now, because when you think about it, other people, lesser funny people had a year, and all the jokes have been said for a year, and he still came with something and it was fresh and he still hit it.
Yes.
Like, that is impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
He found like 8 jokes that haven't been told yet. Nah, I'm not feeling it. That nigga scoured the internet to see what jokes nobody told.
I say this, and I say this as a Chris Rock fan. Like, I'm on record. I've been, when everybody was on Dave Chappelle, I'm like, I still got Chris Rock ranked ahead of Dave Chappelle. I always been a big fan of Chris Rock. So just from somebody who just have seen every single stand-up bit that Chris Rock has ever done,
this one, it's somewhere beyond on the bad side of the middle of them. I wasn't feeling it. So I mean, I got no hate. I mean, maybe my expectations was up real high, and that's why I personally didn't enjoy it. But I'm not raging out. I'm not mad at them. I just didn't personally enjoy it like I thought I would. But there's that.
I have a question for the
coming
panel.
from a different place.
Right. I have a question for the panel real quick. I'm not necessarily an expert on comedy. I'm pretty funny if you come to my Rumble channel, but his final joke, you don't fight in front of white folks. Do you fight in front of black folks? Would it have been okay? Well, would it have been okay to strike back if he was in front of black folks? Like, help me understand.
No, what he was saying. Let me jump in. What he was saying, because a lot of people have been giving him smoke about that, especially from the pro-black side of things. The deal is this: we don't fight family in front of other people. We don't use our inside voices with outside people. That's what they're saying. You don't.
It's a lot of.
If you're fighting a white person, of course you're fighting in front of white people, right? But if me and Bernard out in front of a bunch of white folks, it's code. It used to be code back in the day that you didn't do that. You don't show you give a unified front.
Okay. I understood where I don't like the way that joke sounded, but I understood what he meant, and it's that when black folks, when we get around white folks, we don't want to come off like the ignorant nigga that don't know how to act. That's how I understood that joke, but it do sound bad that we
punched you in the face. Are you going to look around at the crowd before you respond?
Well, my position on the short answer is no.
Okay.
But my overall, but my overall position on him on that is, by him not retaliating, Will Smith looked bad. Had he retaliated, black people look bad.
You don't have to punch him back. You could have pushed him. There's a whole host of physical interaction you could have engaged in. You didn't have to punch him back.
Most of those physical actions would have resulted in two grown-ass millionaire black men on the Oscar stage in tuxedos rolling around on the ground fighting.
They would have been a proxy for every black person, you and I included, in the United States.
It would have been the nigga shit on display.
Put it like this. It was a lose-lose. Will Smith put him.
I thought for sure he was going to sue him, but he didn't.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He had to sue him. I think they settled.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think they settled.
Did they? I didn't know that. I didn't hear anything about that.
All right, I'm gonna rotate some more people in. But, I gotta rotate some more people in. So I know Armstrong Consultants, you was trying to jump in. So
I just got a question for you. To me, comedians are like, the bomb squad you call whenever it's a bomb inside of a building or a school or something like that. Like, you have to get this job right, or it can spell, the end for you, right? Outside of Dave Chappelle, who else do you know that has the type of talent to land those edgy jokes with the LGBTQ plus community, especially with suicide, and survive the onslaught afterwards? Because Dave Chappelle is extremely talented, and he always get backlash the next day. So imagine someone trying to do those edgy jokes and then they just blow up. They just bomb. Is that potentially the end of their career? And is this what's going through those comedians' heads at the time of actually trying to write down some jokes? Because I'm quite certain that there's possibly some jokes to be said about LGBTQ. It's just that what happens if they don't land it? So that was the question.
The only problem with that, sir, is the problem with woke culture is that it's ever expanding. Today, or the last few years, it's not LGBT and homosexual. Then it's going to be you can't talk about women. Then it's going to be you can never tell a joke about blacks. The woke culture is ever expanding. It never stops. So you're either going to take a stand against it, a unified front, all these brilliant comics just making the most horrific jokes. If you can make jokes about killing babies, you can make jokes about these Transformers dying. I'm sorry.
Hey, but Nate, can I ask you a question? Can I push back a little bit, Nate?
Yes, sir.
I think it would be more effective if we all did it at our jobs. But for some reason or another, we can't do that. because
We really can't. Chris Rock can do it more sooner than us.
Chris Rock has money, but Chris Rock has recently just lost half of his wealth. This man is going through a divorce. This man's trying to work. Like at the end of the day, I can't fault a man for trying to work because that's what we're trying
real
to do.
quick.
All
right, Armstrong Consultants and Blacks Who Defy. I'm gonna drop y'all down. I gotta get some more people in here. Y'all newcomers to the panel, so you know y'all facing a little bit of hazing. I'm gonna drop y'all down. But hey, thank y'all for coming back. Come back some other time. I can't pack a panel with 12 people. Do appreciate y'all coming back. Come again. Do appreciate y'all coming up, giving y'all perspectives on this. Damn it, I see somebody else down there too. All right, I gotta get.
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
drop off, man. I
Wait. I
got
gotta shout out Big Mike.
Dirty folks.
Yeah, man.
What up, man?
See, hold on. You the reason. You know, I'm not a Chris Rock fan, but I am a hood conservative and Big Mike Rock fan. So I was like, yo, both of my dudes. I gotta show up.
Man, appreciate you.
But well, shit. Well, yeah. Actually, no, it's on you, dirty folks. Whatever you came up to say, go ahead and fire it off. Go ahead and fire it off. I'm going to you, then Black Uru, and then somebody name fuck out of here. That's his name. So yeah, he down there at the bottom. So I mean it's FAFOH. So okay, but we'll get to you. I'm gonna mute you up right now though. But go ahead, dirty folks. You got the floor. You got the mic.
All right, as far as Chris Rock, it's crazy. I just did a show about this like the other day. I don't like Chris Rock stand up in general, but I do like his comedic timing in movies. I could say the same about Mike Epps or Kevin Hart. So I wasn't going to watch the special anyway. I think my favorite Southern Baptist preacher is kind of off on this. I don't care. Here's the thing. When you create a set, you talk about what you want to talk about. It's for everybody else to decide whether or not they want to add on to what you talk about. That's I mean, we all had channels and you got a nice little buzz on Rumble. That's your lane. You know what I'm saying? To add on. I think Chris Rock did exactly what Chris Rock wanted to do to set up the last 10 minutes of his show. I think a lot of it was just prep because he understood that people wanted to hear about Will Smith. And he had to do at least an hour to get that 20 million, right? So I don't take too much into it. I don't care if he doesn't talk about gays. I don't care. He didn't have to talk about abortion. He could have talked about puppies. You know what I'm saying? He could have talked about anything. And as long as he can get to his point and get his check. But I do want to say one thing. This is the only thing that I didn't like about the excerpts that I've heard. And I've heard about it all day. That's how he talk about on social media. I didn't like the fact that he said that his parents told him not to fight in front of white people.
That didn't sound good.
Let me explain something to you. There is nothing about a man who's not approachable that gets approached. You know what I'm saying? Like everything he said up to that about Will being Ali and he was Pookie, all that was funny. Will being almost twice his size. All of that is reasons not to hit back. People know who to bully. The last part, like he didn't do it just because he was thinking about his parents. He acts like we didn't see the show. He acts like he didn't think it was a joke.
Hey, dirty. You got to peep the nuances in what he said, because Will Smith just came out with a book talking about how he didn't have parents, like a dad, and all of that stuff.
Wait, what?
That was a shot.
Okay, check this out.
You know what I'm saying? He said, I had parents. That was a shot to Will Smith. That was a pretty low blow.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and his mom didn't even show up to the Oscars. So yeah, I think you're on
only in Black America is having a dad a low blow, but all right.
No.
He's basically saying, you know, I mean, and he also pointed out that my mom is right there. He's basically saying that I have parents that love me and show up to my shit. Right. And your mama was at home watching and playing bingo while you was winning your first Oscar.
Here's the problem with that. First of all, mom can't make it to every event. Will stay getting an award.
No.
But listen,
this is the Oscar. This is the one he was bitching about not getting 5 years prior.
Wait. That's not my issue.
No, right quick. The Oscar is a big deal. You know,
Okay,
that's like
Oscars-
winning the heavyweight championship and your daddy not in the
Do,
ringside
do
seat.
we don't know the health? We don't know the health of
Right.
Will's mom or why she may not have been able to attend.
Thank you.
I was just
Okay,
saying
fair
that
enough.
he
But
was
I
just
don't-
bringing up parents
I
because
understand.
that was something that was a pain point for Will. That
But
was
hold on, but that's not a pain point for Will. Will is revising his history. You have to understand that we're old enough to remember. Parents just don't understand. When Will Smith first came out, all he talked about was the love he has for his father. How his father taught him how to build a house brick by brick. Houses just don't appear out of nowhere. How his father taught him patience from fishing. How his father was a masonry man. Every lesson Will Smith had before he met Jada was about his father. He did not denounce his father the way that Peter denounced Jesus until he got with Jada.
no, he denounced his father on Fresh Prince when he said, "How come you don't want me, man?"
That was a TV show.
It's true. It's true. Like, why would he play? Why would he play the son of a single mother? That's just like disrespectful to his father.
But he did it.
Come on, man. That's a character. That's a character.
He had to end up at his house somehow.
That is real life. That is real
No,
life. And how come he
no,
didn't
that
have
was
that?
that was the plot in the story.
But he
When
was
those dudes
playing
ran him out of
himself in the
Philadelphia.
story, Bernard.
He got ran out of Philadelphia and sent to Bel Air because he didn't smack him like he did Chris Rock. Let's throw it out there.
That's true, but that's the sitcom. If you listen to the Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince interviews, all Will Smith talk about was his dad. All this, his dad was never. Then all of a sudden, when he got with Will, his dad was abusive. Now his dad wasn't there. Like he erasing his dad from the lexicon in real time.
I would imagine that would happen to anybody in Hollywood. You're eventually going to disassociate yourself from everything important, everything traditional. These people are completely bought into this madness. Your son can get on a concert stage and talk about this guy being my boyfriend and all this other weird shit. A guy that sat at your dinner table and ate dinner with you is piping down your wife and might be smashing your son. Man, come on. This life is and insane. These people live. Sorry.
Nate, that shit was real.
I'm sorry, dog.
You're not hitting the wife and smashing the son. Like,
dude, can you imagine?
Yo, nah, look, just a couple months ago,
smashing your
just a
wife
couple
and
months
your
ago,
son.
August Alsina comes out on his show on like VH1. He got a boyfriend now. So I'm like, damn, now when you think about it, like everybody was in the house fucking that same nigga. Like that shit nasty, bro. All y'all terrible.
It's disgusting, dog. This Hollywood leftist liberal life, it is a nightmare. Look, this man has everything in the world to be happy about. He is a 0.0001% man. He is obscenely wealthy. He got the girl of his dreams, allegedly. He has uber successful children, and he is a motherfucking miserable nightmare. What the hell? What the hell, dog? Come on.
And he's a bully. And he's a bully right now.
Yeah. I think that last one really killed, everything that he worked his entire life for. He spent the better part of 40 years, creating this image of the, funny, don't curse, guy, family guy. And then he just went on and bullied somebody who looks like he got about 50 pounds of muscle over. Like that, you just killed your entire existence with that shit.
I hope this was his bottom.
This
needs.
I do want to see him bounce back from it, but
I want him to. I hope he's brilliant. He needs to get rid of that nightmare whore. That's what he needs to do.
Well,
and that's going to get better for him until he divorces her.
No,
that's what Chris telling him. That's what Chris is telling him.
Get the fuck away from that bitch, dog.
Oh, that's what everybody's telling him.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, not black women.
That's what everybody's telling him. I think that
not black women.
Nobody cares what black
women.
Real quick. I don't include them.
Real quick. Time out. Real quick. Shout out to Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, dropping $5 on it. Do appreciate you. He says. He said, I took it as him saying he came from good parents versus bad parents. As he said, everyone has selective anger, and many people do. My thoughts. I think Uncle Stu was referring to the part where because when he asked why didn't he retaliate, he said because I was raised, because I have parents, and he made the joke, don't fight in front of white people or whatever. So I think that's the part Uncle Stu was referring to. But But yeah, that joke, I understood where he was coming from with that joke, but it didn't sound good. It just didn't sound good. But
It wasn't a strong closer.
hell no. Yeah. You want the final joke to be one that make people stand up.
I want you gentlemen to go watch Bigger and Blacker from
Would have been
1999.
better off saying he just didn't want to do it in front of his mom and dad.
But we still talking about it. We want to talk about that. See,
Yeah, hold on real quick. Somebody got some muffling. Let me read one more super chat, then I'm gonna pass it to the person at the bottom who haven't spoken yet. But Elevated Engineering in the building with a $10 super chat. Appreciate that. He says they're already
Loan me $10. I know you got $10.
Yeah, I got it. You know why I got it? Because I don't throw my money away on them streets.
Shout out to Elevated Engineering with the $10 super chat. He says they're already starting the Chris Rock disrespected black woman. Well, really? Black women trigger alert. The wokeness will not stop ever. I'm shocked. I don't even know where he disrespected him, and he called Jada a bitch.
That's the part I want to talk about. I'm going to go live later and talk about that side of it, because it's really about black women. I like all the gay, tranny stuff and abortion. That's on the side. It's really about black women and their ego.
All right, well, cool. Oh wait, Black. I don't know if Black Uru said anything. Let me mute you up, Hood. Hold on, wait. I want you to give us the teaser trailer of what you're going to go live on in a second, Hood Conservative. But we got Black Uru and somebody else down there too. So go ahead, Black Uru, if you haven't spoke yet.
Thanks for having me, Bernard.
No doubt.
I hope I'm coming in clear.
Yep.
I have some differing views about this subject. I don't think that Chris Rock tells that joke if that's Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I think there was definitely a racial element to why he told that joke about Jada in particular. And while I think it was dumb for Will to go up on that stage.
Hold on, wait, what joke? You talking about the initial alopecia joke?
Yeah, I'm going back to the initial joke because
too.
I'm saying, but that white woman was not in that audience, and that joke was directed. That joke.
Hold on. Time out, real quick. If you go look at his whole speech, his whole opening monologue. Right before he made the joke about Jada, he made another joke about the white woman, the white woman who's
there was a husband-wife there.
It was a husband-wife that both was nominated for different things or something like that, or blah blah blah. He was clowning everybody. Like Chris Rock make jokes about white people. In the stand-up that we just saw, he clowned white people. He made a career clowning white people. What you talking about, man?
he made a joke about the appearance of that man's wife.
Well, she bald headed. She ain't got alopecia. She had a bad weave. She ain't got no scar on her head. Look.
No, I'm just saying. I don't think he tells that same joke if those are white people. I don't believe it.
Who's the bald
while I
can tell that same joke on? Who's the bald white woman? Who's the white woman walking around with a shiny head that he could have told that exact same joke on?
Actually, the person that he referenced, G.I. Jane. He could
have. Yeah, but he did say that. That's what I'm saying. Right. But Black Guru's response to that was she wasn't there. I'm saying who else was there bald?
And it's very possible Demi Moore could have been there just chilling. She's not uninvited just because she ain't hot no more.
Don't forget he laughed at the joke.
Who else was there bald? Who's the white woman that was there bald? I would love to hear this.
Don't forget Will laughed at the joke.
Where was Mrs. Clean? Where was Mrs.
I feel like the white woman would have took it better anyway. She just wouldn't have got mad. She'd have been like, "Oh yeah, I was bald that day, ha 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 ha," and it would have been over.
I've done streams called "The White Woman Is Not God." I've done streams called "The Pasty Skunk" with white women in my chat laughing and sending me money. So white women got a lot thicker skin than the ABW. It's unfortunate, but it's
and a lot thicker hair. Yeah.
Hey, they shooting, mama. They shooting.
Goddamn.
No, I think black women's hair is thicker. They just destroy it. So doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Mama, they shooting in these streets, mama.
All right. I would not have told that joke about Jada, and I would not have told that joke not because I care anything about Jada. I wouldn't have told that joke because I cared about Will. in that particular moment, in that particular situation.
Will
So
was
that's
rapping.
my
Here's the thing, though. Will was rapping in an era when they said, "What you see, D? I see some ball here." Oh. Like Will know his girl ball. Will know he got a ball hell. I don't I don't necessarily take umbrance with the joke. I think that Will was mad.
No.
Jada was mad, and he was trying to be the great man. I think Will's career is not finished. I think Will can have a snapback with a divorce.
Nah, you know what? I think the reason why Will mad is just kind of like what you said. He knows she a bald headed hoe, but he ain't never said that shit in private. Like, think about it. Like, listen, you gotta keep it a buck. You gotta tell the truth before some other nigga come around joking about the shit.
Are we forgetting that Will Smith?
Hey, real quick,
I'm sorry.
Is somebody named somebody who's super chats that I fucked around and missed?
Uncle something.
Uncle Tom. Uncle
Yes,
Tom.
Uncle Tom.
I just dug that up, and hell, RM, if you can go find that one wherever the hell it's at, because I'm looking at it in the back, but it's real small and I can't see it. Hold on, let me. If I blow my screen up, I might be able to. All right, I can read it. Click on it if you can find it. It was a while. It was in between mental. It was actually in between Uncle Stu and mental agility. So you'll probably be able to find it. But he says, "Lil Big Nate would love you on my panel." Okay, you're getting a special guest venue seat here. Okay, he says, "Lil Big Nate would love you on my panel on the porch session." And Bernard guest show and perspective, my brother blacks who defy keep cooking. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. And hopefully Nate, you saw that and you dropped the email.
Chat for him.
Good. Drop it in there again just in case he's still here.
All right.
So all right, cool. But thank you for that super chat. Do appreciate that. All right, somebody was trying.
Well, I don't think Chris. I think Chris Rock is too old and out of touch, and he is too afraid to tell the jokes that need to be told today. And I agree with Little Big Nate. I think there are jokes that need to be told about timely issues, but they require a certain level of courage and talent that Chris Rock does not have. And I'm kind of, I mean, this happened a year ago. So like if this special, if you will, came out last summer, I think it would be a big deal. It's been a fucking year. I mean, I'm like, okay, we got to do this thing for another year. The guy got slapped. Okay, fuck. You know, but I mean, come on. We're acting like somebody got murdered in public or something.
Well, career
he got slapped by a dude. This thing should have been settled, like I say, during the summer. You do your stand-up, you do your special or whatever, and we over this. I can't believe we're a year later and we're talking about this thing.
No,
we're only talking about it. We're only talking about it because he's just now responding. You know,
he strung it out. Because he strung it out for a year.
Yeah, exactly. You see, that's the thing. I think that that's part of Chris's strategy. For one, I think he was waiting for the most money as possible. But for two, I think he was on some. Just in case you forgot, Will Smith's a bitch ass nigga because people have a tendency to forget. Like, you know, like. It seemed like Will Smith was probably like, okay, I'll just wait a year and then I'll do the movies. Like he had a movie like in the works with Michael B. Jordan and stuff. Like he was taking hits. You know, he's doing Bad Boy 4. He's like, okay, maybe the coast is clear now, and I could just pop my head back.
Game changer. You got guys that are like that have like done.
Hold on. Let him finish.
So he's like, okay, I got Bad Boys 4. You know, I'm back with Martin Lawrence and stuff. He's a comedian. Maybe people forgot somewhat. It's just in the back of their brain, and you know, I could pop out and make some money on Bad Boys 4 and stuff like that. And this is Chris Rock saying like, nope. Remember, you're a bitch ass nigga. This is him saying that to the world.
I'm just saying, like, Chris Brown.
You think
remember that bitch ass shit from last year?
You think Chris Rock gonna drop a special every time Will Smith got a movie coming out?
No. I think that he's going to stretch it out to where, you know, he won't let it die down. He's going to stretch it out for as long as possible. I don't think 10 years from now people are going to be tripping on this, but I do think that Chris want to stretch this out as long as possible. Like, nah, nigga.
Chris needs to stretch it out as long as possible. Think about it like this.
You should have jumped on it sooner.
And not because the time.
Nah, because then we wouldn't be talking about it now.
No, we well.
Okay, but let's be honest about what has happened to Will. He got a 10-year ban from the Oscars.
On Chris's face? What do you mean to Will?
I mean he's pretty much ruined his career.
He ruined
for that. I mean, we're talking as if, I mean, Will is permanently damaged by this event. Yeah. He may never fully recover. I mean, hell, Chris Brown cut a fucking album the year after he tapped up Rihanna. Mm-hmm. And we're talking like Will, I mean, you got guys who have done time for drugs and shooting people and all kinds of shit, and they recover their careers, and we're basically saying that Will should basically be persona non grata for the rest of his life for slapping a dude.
I didn't say for the rest
Nobody's
of his life.
saying that.
But that's how it's being presented. That's how it's being presented.
No, I'm talking about Chris's strategy. Chris's strategy want his career to be stagnant for as long as possible.
I don't think that's
and why and is that a valid? I mean, okay, that's fine. That Chris can feel any kind of way he feels about Will because he's the one that slapped. That's well and good. But the reality is he got slapped. Dudes slap each other. Dudes punch each other in any fucking NBA game. Some guy slaps or punches some dude, and then they play the next game. And we act as though this is like the worst possible thing. This is the sum of all fears between black men.
I mean,
nobody. Time out. No, nobody is acting like that. I think people gave the proper amount of response. Like walking on stage and slapping.
We're talking about this shit a year later. We're talking about this a year later.
Hold on. Why are you pretending as if the only reason that we're talking about it, like we're only talking about it because Chris Rock finally responded in a live Netflix special. Other than that, it was far off our mind. I thought Chris Rock wasn't going to respond. I thought I'd never do content on this again. But since Chris Rock responded, yeah, we gonna milk some content out of it and then move the fuck on. But we're not just attacking Will Smith just because we mad at him because he slapped somebody. That's what he did with some bitch ass shit. And it was just an overall bad look to walk up on the stage in the Oscars and slap the shit out of another black man. It's like, damn.
But a white man.
Okay,
yeah, but either way it go. I mean, no, the black on black element is a factor in the equation. We can't deny that. We can't deny that.
If I could say this real quick,
let's go through careers that it's cool to just slap somebody. Say you're an accountant. Well, hold on, right quick. Say you're an accountant, right? And you're at the company Christmas party, and somebody is giving a speech. And you just walk up and smack the shit out of them and say Rick James, bitch, and see how long your career lasts after that.
First
say
of all,
you're a cop.
If I can chime in, just
hold on, right quick. Say you're a cop and you're caught on camera smacking the shit out of that same accountant. Like, I mean, okay, say you're a firefighter, right? And then you find the person that lit the fire and you smack the shit out of them. Like, where is it cool? What career do you go around smacking the shit out of people and still have a career after that publicly?
But no, Will Smith still deserved to have a career. Will Smith still deserved to have a career, but he got to take the reputation hit. It just is what it is. But
real quick, there's a benefit to this. Okay, not only is there a growing chasm between a significant portion of black men and the majority of black women politically, but this incident gave us an opportunity to see how different a significant portion of black men, like the men in this space, will see what this incident means versus what the overwhelming majority of black women see this incident means. Black women, not all of them, but a lot of them, this was Will Smith defending the wife that was sucking the dick of his best friend's, of his son's friend, okay? That's a black woman that needs protection. A black woman that was sleeping with her son's best friend who might have been sleeping with her son. And black men, I can't say all black men because there were niggas out there, pumping up Will Smith too. But at least the men in this space, we see this for what it was. It was wrong. It was humiliating. It shouldn't have been done. And just look at the chasm between us. Most Black women think this was a call of duty and a call to arms, and he's chivalrous, he's awesome, defending this type of woman. I'm not suggesting there aren't some women in the world worth defending, but this is not one of them. And it just shows you how they think all Black women, regardless of their behavior, regardless of the wrong they've done, deserve to be protected. And it's
let me look. I think there's a third option.
Hold on, wait, real quick. Homeboy with the purple E, FOH is your name in the back. Shout out to you. Welcome aboard. I don't think you've said anything yet, so go ahead, give us your take on this. So you got the floor, you got the mic.
All right, peace, fellas. Bernard Riley, love the show, bro. Listen, first let me say this. Malcolm X told us a long time ago is do not expect entertainers to speak to certain issues in a certain way. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So I was expecting Chris Rock to attack certain issues in his comedy show, multi-million-dollar comedian, to speak on something to certain issues in such a blunt way is ridiculous. We know entertainers are not going to do that. He makes millions of dollars. He has to appeal to everybody. I agree with Nate on that. He was very much in his place to just straight out say, okay, I've been keeping it friendly. I've been telling jokes here and there. Yeah, I know it stings, Will. This is comedy. Ha, ha, ha. And then finally he was like, nope, let me just say it. Jada's a bitch. She's a bitch. And he was well within his right to say it. He got assaulted. And then my last thing is that, listen, it's only, don't act like a year is a century. I mean, the man, he got slapped. If I'm a multi-million-dollar man who got slapped, as a man, you'd rather get punched than to get slapped. It's just disrespectful to get slapped. But the fact that he waited a year, so what? Nobody's going to tell me when to talk about what I'm going to talk about when I'm the one who got slapped. And I think it was genius. And he let it build up. He let it build. I'm never going to forget. I don't forget when people in the hood has slapped another man in the face. I'm never going to forget ever that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock in front of the world.
Can I address the gentleman real quick?
So then we should vilify Will in infinitum for him slapping Chris.
You don't have to vilify him, but
real quick, I'd like to address some of the gentleman said.
I'm trying. What's the protocol? What's the protocol here based on what this brother just presented? So Will should just be persona non grata indefinite.
Well, I'd like to address what the gentleman said. I will never forget that he's a nigga that slaps smaller people. I'll never forget that. I mean, no matter what, his image in my brain is permanently tarnished. Is permanently tarnished.
So then he's tarnished because he slapped the guy who's smaller than him. So if he slapped the guy who was bigger than him, then that would have been okay.
No,
I was just better. Yeah.
Wait.
He wouldn't be a bully ass nigga. Yeah.
Wait. I mean, you see how ridiculous this.
The gentleman said real quick.
Okay, all right. I got you, Nate. But just real quick, I'm gonna pass it to you next. Black Uru, you keep putting a demand. You're demanding that we're doing something that we're not. I think we're given the proper amount of criticism, and then you keep leaping to, so he should be banned from human society. It's like, no, nobody said that. But
I'm responding to what the brother just said. He appeared to say that there is some sort of indefinite punishment.
That's not what I'm saying.
I got you.
I'm sorry.
He said that how Chris Rock responds to it, nobody can say. Chris Rock can. I think he's basically saying Chris Rock can talk shit about it for the rest of his life if he wants. I think that's more or less what he was saying. We can't criticize the way Chris Rock respond to it. I don't think he's saying that Hollywood should ban him forever, but I think they do got to be conscious of the fact that Will Smith may not be big box office blockbuster, make a automatic $500 million film if it's a summer blockbuster with big explosions no more. He may have ruined that. We'll see when Bad Boys 4 come out. If that shit flop at the box office, then okay, that's the reputation hit. Some people take reputation hits. I have no idea what Emancipation did. Go ahead, Nate. You wanted to jump in and say something.
Real quick, in response to what the gentleman said, you all are missing the point of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I am not trying to tell him what to talk about. The problem I have is, like I said, and I'd love for you to address this if you could, saying 5 or 6 times, I love these people. I love the gays. I love the trans. Why are you pandering? If he said nothing about them, then that's cool. Say nothing about them. Why do you have to tell the crowd 5 or 6 or 7 times how much you love them? That shows cowardice, and it shows me you're not really down for being a real comic. Why are you telling these people how much you love them?
He probably love them.
I mean, he might.
You ever consider that?
That's disgusting.
Let me say this.
I love to respond.
To what Uru was saying about yes, it is wronger to smack somebody smaller than you. Is what it is. Like Rick James smacked Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy smacked. That shit is funny. That shit is funny as fuck. I'll never forget that. I'm Rick James, bitch. That is the funniest shit ever. Why? Because Charlie Murphy is either regular size or above regular size compared to Rick. If Rick was going around smacking like Webster or some shit like that, it would be fucked up. He'll be just like a for real fucked up bully ass nigga. You don't do shit like that. There's certain just codes of manhood that you don't do. And then for Will afterwards.
So you should never smack somebody who's smaller than you.
No, I'm not saying
another man who's smaller than you.
He shouldn't have did it then.
If you're gonna assault him, just still on him. Don't slap him.
Okay,
that's my point.
Here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick. I don't care that he smacked what size a person is that Will Smith smacked. That's not the reputation hit. If DMX would have slapped him, it would have enhanced DMX's career. The thing was that Will Smith's career was based on being the funny, harmless dude, and it messed up that. The other thing is Chris Rock is rich than a bitch. So what else is he gonna talk about? Comedy is based on trauma plus timing. Chris Rock ain't had trauma in a long time. He doesn't have anything to crack jokes about. So he may joke about this for the rest of his life. Just that's the only form of trauma he's had.
Well, divorce? What about divorce?
Well, no, Dave Chappelle is very wealthy and he manages to still be funny.
Dave Chappelle still talks about the trauma of being canceled. Dave Chappelle
talks but talent is talent.
I understand
being able to,
you're missing the point.
Being able.
What does Dave Chappelle talk about? Dave Chappelle talks about right? He talks about
Little Big Nate made a valid point, and that's on the issue of this rainbow stuff. And Dave Chappelle is much more likely to go at this rainbow stuff than Chris Rock obviously is.
But he cares.
And that's a fundamental difference between them in terms of their caliber as comedians and maybe even their outright guts as men, frankly.
Honestly, I think it's about what people like Bernard said. Maybe he really liked them people. See it like this. If I want to hear tiny humor, then even though Kevin Hart ain't funny, Kevin Hart or Cat Williams, they'll talk about being short all the time, but all of their content is about their life. Cat Williams talk about how he's always in the ire of the police. He talks about how it is to be basically a trick baby on some Richard Pryor stuff. They talk about their experiences. When Dave Chappelle first came back, he had 3 comedy shows. His first comedy show was about him being exiled. His second comedy show was about how the LGBT took one joke out of context in the first comedy show. Like the whole thing is you're saying these guys are courageous or not based on their topics, and maybe they are, maybe they not, but my whole thing is people talk about their life experiences. Chris Rock ain't experienced nothing traumatic in a long time. Nobody tries to cancel Chris. Nobody says Chris can't do a movie. Even when Chris's movies flop, they give him another movie. The same courtesy that Will Smith got until now. Like they keep Chris Rock afloat. Chris doesn't have anything to talk about. He might talk about this forever. But
what I said earlier, I think he should stop doing comedy specials because I don't think he has much to any offer much to offer comedy. You know, I mean, if this whole thing's got to get based on getting slapped up by Will, then you know,
Seinfeld has been a
what
rich
are we
Jewish man
doing?
since the 80s.
So his career should
still
end,
does
but Will
comedy.
Smith should continue. Like you spent the whole thing saying why Will Smith's career should continue, but Chris's should end. That's interesting.
Seinfeld's been.
I'm saying be funny. If you're going to be a comedian, actually be funny. That's all I would ask.
Well, yeah, he was hosting the Oscar before the slap. So let's be clear, that's what he was doing. You know, I mean, that's subjective to think that if he's funny or not. You know, I will say that, but nevertheless, he did have a career prior to that.
All right, real quick.
Well, I mean, he was only doing that because of some flap that involved, if I recall, a few years back involving Kevin Hart. So even that he had kind of aged out or whatever. I don't think there's much to him right now, and I think it's in part because he's comfortable, as you all were describing earlier, and he doesn't really have anything. And if he's not going to take an issue on the alternative stuff, you know, take a position on alternative stuff, then what is he talking about if he's comfortable?
You know what's
and
funny?
Rich?
You know what's funny? Is about the whole slap thing. I like how it's reaping what he sows, because Will Smith, he set out to destroy Chris Rock's career when he slapped him.
You think he set out to
real quick? Hold on, let's hear this out. Go ahead.
Yeah, so because after he slapped him, you know, he tried to vilify him when he gave that speech. I'm protecting my family against. He tried to make Chris Rock out to appear to be the bully, and he's just this hard ass just motherfucker that his parents just don't understand him. You know, like, you know, that couldn't beat Mike Tyson. He actually what, you haven't heard Beat Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, Will Smith came out with a song in the 80s called Beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it
went over my head.
It was.
No, it wasn't a hit. No.
Yeah, it existed. That's true. It existed.
If it was the album cut and wasn't on the radio back in the 80s, I didn't hear it.
Video and everything.
I had a video and everything. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. We didn't have cable. We didn't have cable.
Yeah,
but all right.
Well,
Like,
somebody was saying that Will Smith didn't think, he just reacted. Agreed. However, after he had time to think, he still went up on stage and said that bullshit. He thought
that was damage. That was damage control. I don't think
that
he
wasn't
set out.
damage control. Damage control would have been apologizing then. He didn't apologize till he got home and seen that the internet was calling him a bitch ass nigga. He's like, oh shit. You know, I thought that Chris Rock was the bad guy. He tried to paint Chris Rock as the bad guy for telling a joke that he was laughing at.
I disagree.
All right, hold on. Hold your thought, Dirty. Indigo Flow in the building with the $2 super chat. He said for the Black Uru tax.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
And Deadly Raver in the building with a $10 super chat. Shout out to you. Do appreciate you coming through, dropping $10 on it.
He's to loan me $10. I know you got $10.
Yeah, I got it. You know why I got it? Because I don't throw my money away on them streets.
Shout out to you with the $10 super chat. He says, now this is a super chat all about. I ain't even read it yet.
Deadly Raver, boy.
Now this is a super chat all about how Will's wife dissed him all over the town. You got to. I'm messing up the rhythm. You got to take a minute. Just sit right there. I'll tell you how he got punked by his crack with no hair.
That's some superstar shit. Shout out Deadly Raver, man.
That's pretty clever. I gotta give him that one. I gotta give him that one.
My bad messing up the rhythm. You left a word out and that threw off the rhythm. But either way it goes. Super chat of the day. Possibly of the year. That was good. But all right. Shit, I forgot what I was talking about.
Can I ask something?
But before the Oscars, Will and Jada were on the red carpet, and they were being interviewed by red carpet, and they was asking them questions about the event and how they expected things to go and whatever, and and the interviewer asked them, So I think it was a guy, might have been kind of a sweet type guy.
Mhm.
The interviewer asked him, so you don't anticipate there being any entanglements tonight?
Oh my God.
And both Jada and Will laughed.
Wow.
Wow.
They both laughed.
That's way more offensive.
Yeah, it is.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Bernard. They put entanglement out there. They put that out there. So they had accepted that was fair game because she put that out there.
But her bald head
What
wasn't fair
they
game?
hadn't put out there, what they had not put out there is making fun of her hair condition. That's what they had not put out
They
there.
hadn't put out there making fun of her stage 5 cancer. Man, it's alopecia, man. It just means hair loss, man.
I'm just saying I'm not going to make fun of the appearance of some other man's wife. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care whatever the hell they got going on. I am not going to make fun of some other the appearance of some other man's wife. I'm not going to do it.
She's rocking that style on purpose nowadays.
Can we acknowledge, probably hundreds of black men die a year from what I'm about to describe. How easy it is for a black woman to put a battery in a black man's back.
Yep.
He sat there and he laughed. He laughed. He looked at her. She had a smirk on her face. He goes to punch the nigga in the mouth.
Let me address that. I'm with you, Nate.
It was foolish what he did.
No, check this out. Just listen. Because you're not going to tell me that she cut her hair bald and that deserves to get beat up, but she sucked her son's best friend off and y'all can laugh about it as a couple. You're not going to tell me that one's less offensive than the other. Now, what I will say is
they admitted they publicly discussed that issue.
And she
they publicly discussed that issue in their
bald head hoe.
I'm not going to make fun of a man's wife appearance.
And that's
now if they put something if they put something else out there, and if they make light of it or make material about it, then that's fair game. They put that out there.
Like Uru, I got him throwing it right to Dirty. Don't nobody say nothing after this. I'm gonna let Dirty finish his thought. But there is a video on her Instagram page that I played on my channel before where she was saying, yeah, I was thinking about getting a wig, but I realized I don't give a damn what nobody got to say about my bald head, and I'm gonna rock it, and I don't care what nobody say. And she literally said that.
She said that.
Literally said that. Go ahead, Dirty.
Well, that does give it a different side of it. I still would not make fun of some other man's wife appearance because that's just something.
Go ahead, Dirty.
Because you respect these hoes. But listen, what I'm saying. You just said that.
No, I have a wife.
Okay.
I have a wife.
Okay, but then
so I would.
But here's the thing. You just said that Dave Chappelle has more courage than Chris Rock, and I'm telling you, Dave Chappelle said Jada cut her hair off when things got problems because she was trying to take the heat off her pussy. He said the same joke about her. So y'all gotta understand, like everybody was shooting shots. Will Smith didn't have a public response for Dave. So what I'm saying is what he was doing is trying to be the only good man. That's what dudes do. Y'all like these girls, and then you will go out here and sacrifice your everything.
How many times has Jada been called bald-headed in the presence of Will?
A lot, probably.
Where Will slow down because y'all talk. I don't even get a chance to even finish the statement. How many times has Jada been flat out called bald-headed in Will's presence? How many times has that happened?
How many times?
But man, that don't even matter, man. Like
can you all answer the question? I've never seen her appearance be made fun of in his presence.
But
I've never seen that.
Can we agree? Hold on, wait, time out. Yes, Will laughed. Can we agree that Chris Rock didn't call her a bald head bitch? he said GI, what did he say? GI Jane, something.
Yeah, it should be in GI Jane 2 or something.
Yeah, G.I. Jane, G.I. Jane Part 2. Love to see it. That's all he said.
Okay, that come on, that's subtle. That's subtle. Like,
But brother,
on,
what
man.
That's
I'm trying to say is,
bruh.
You're
Okay,
reaching.
that's bullshit, Bernard. You know that's bullshit because you old enough to know whenever anybody mentions G.I. Jane, the first thing anybody thinks is that bald-headed ass Demi Moore. Everybody, that's the first thing everybody thinks about. That's why when he told that joke, people laugh because everybody knows that's exactly what was meant.
Yes, it was a good joke.
You know that.
She did look like G.I. Jane.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Black Uru, do you think he deserved to have been slapped?
No, and I've repeatedly said that.
Okay,
I've repeatedly said that.
On the list of offense, what's more offensive? Me saying that your bald head girl is bald head, or me cracking jokes that your bald head woman was giving head to somebody else in front of you and you laugh? Which one is more offensive on the list of slap?
The second one would be more offensive. However, I would not. Can I finish? Comment about the latter, but they publicly talked about that. They made it a part of their actual. I mean, they put that out there, and so I don't think that is necessarily viewed by them the same way that it might be viewed by me.
I have a question,
but they've not put out. Let's make fun of how Jada looks. They've not done that I recall.
But
can I get
Black Guru, real quick. I have a question. This was all initiated by her saying, well, Chris Rock needs to quit the Oscars because my husband didn't get an award.
It wasn't initiated.
And tried to put public pressure on him, getting all the black folks together to condemn him for doing his job and feeding his family and making money as a comedian and a host. I think it's
honestly, Nate.
Well, that was years ago.
Real quick, Nate. What you described did happen, but I don't think the two events were connected. She was just mad,
and that happened several years prior.
Real quick, hold on. She was mad because, Chris Rock just made a joke about it. She was mad because Will Smith didn't get nominated. No black people got nominated that year, so she was on some boycott the Oscar stuff. But Chris Rock hosted the Oscars and made a joke about her. I think that's a separate event. I think that's generally a separate event from the G.I. Jane joke. I don't even think those two are connected. The people who
brought it up. Chris Rock brought it up in the special.
Well, no, I know, but hold on, wait. Chris Rock brought that up because they tried to spin it like it was an ongoing thing, but it wasn't. It was just a joke that he made. Because she said something and then he responded to it when he was hosting the Oscar. But that was in 2015.
Every comedian talks about people. Every comedian talks about the
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. If you ever been in a comedy show, everybody knows the people on the front row is gonna get it. That's just how it is. It's not if that's that man's wife or nothing. If they see something, they're gonna crack on them. That's normally how they initiate their skits. Like, I don't understand. They just jokes, man. I mean, like, why do you have to take it personal? You come into a show, you see a comedian, he's gonna crack jokes. That's just a part of business.
I mean, you know what's interesting?
If I would have told the joke about Will. He was the nominated guy, and he's done a lot of goofy shit and whatever. I would not have told the joke about his wife. I just would not have done that.
Man,
regardless of the race, whether they're white, I'm not gonna. Okay, you're nominated, so I'm gonna pick on your wife. I wouldn't do that.
And why
I
not?
If I can,
I got to play this one for you, man. You just coming, you white knight riding in on your.
It was he.
I'm sorry, man. You got your cape on strong, bro. This is bad. This is bad. I was trying to follow.
It don't. You guys don't understand. Y'all don't understand. It don't have anything to do with Jada. I don't give a fuck about Jada. In that situation, guess what? In that situation, I'm a 50-some-year-old black man. You got a 50-something-year-old black man about to win an Oscar. It don't happen that much. In that situation, I'm looking out for Will. In that,
It was he.
I mean, you can play that as much as you want to play that, Bernard. And it sounds funny. It sounds funny, but my point is,
I didn't do that.
in that particular, do you notice that when that incident went down, you all noticed when that incident went down, the elder brothers that evening, Denzel and Tyler Perry and Samuel L. Jackson, all those guys were consoling Will. They weren't consoling Chris Rock.
That's how they're socialized.
You don't know. No.
That's how they're socialized.
Hold on.
How do you know
hold
they
on,
were
Because
wait a minute.
they knew it was Will's night. All the black people who came, all the black people who came to that Oscar event last year knew that Will was supposed to be the star of that night. All of them knew that.
And Will should have grabbed his nuts and looked.
Can I say something?
They did. I got whoever was talking that got them next. Don't nobody else jump in. Denzel and them, yes, they did try to consult Will.
I'll be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
All right. That was RM brought that one in the back. And that was RM with that second white knight coming to say today. But hold on real quick. I forgot what I was about to say. That one threw me off. But they did consult Will. But they also, Denzel Washington did also say that he talked to Chris Rock in the back. Chris Rock was working behind stage. Will was sitting in the audience on a commercial break. They talked to Will when they got a chance. They talked to Chris. Those brothers looking out for other two brothers who was in a situation. They talked to both of them. You can't try to use that as a way to try to say that one did one thing. I mean that they took the side of Will. You're reaching again, but hold on. Don't know you want to jump in.
I'm saying that they did not
jump in. I want to let whoever that was trying to speak because I haven't been passing the mic good. So go ahead.
So let me start this off by saying everybody can get it. So when I say that, I'm also saying that Will is he makes millions of dollars. Jada is at a point where she's able to be the wife, sit back, chill. She doesn't have to be out in the light. She doesn't have to be in the battlefield, but she keeps saying me, shining the light in her face, running out in the daylight. Want to talk about Will in the news. Want to talk about Will on Red Table Talk. And if you out in the light, guess what? You get hit. She got hit. That's all it is to it.
People could see this shine on your head. I agree.
Exactly.
I do want to say this. Anybody notice, and I'll put it in the back chat, how similar this is? There was a scene on Nutty Professor Part 1 where Reggie was played by Dave Chappelle, and he was making fun of everybody on the stage, and then Eddie Murphy went up there and whooped his ass. Y'all seen that?
I remember that.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
I'm just saying it's eerily similar to that.
My thing is this: the better move would have been for Will to laugh it off. He would have looked over there at Jada. He should have grabbed his nuts and kept laughing and went on about his business. I would have took the repercussions behind her before I took the repercussions behind the Oscars. And Black Uru, off of what you're saying, 50-something-odd-year-old man, he should only joke on the males that's out there in the audience. He shouldn't say anything about the women. Is that what you're saying?
Man, if this ain't some protect all black women at all costs, regardless of their actions and behaviors, shit, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know.
Come on.
I said what I said was, if I can complete a statement, I'm looking out for Will that night. If I'm Chris Rock, because I can't even finish a damn statement with you guys.
Go ahead. Will. I mean, not go.
Because from what I've seen, they've kind of hung out. I mean, these are guys. They're around the same age. They come up in Hollywood. This is Will's big night. I'm a black man. I'm doing the announcing. I ain't fucking with Will, which means I ain't fucking with Jada. I'm not that particular night. It maybe another Oscar night when Will is not the featured guy, whatever. Maybe I view that differently. But that he's getting the Oscar for the King Richards movie or whatever. I'm not fucking with Will that night, which means I'm not fucking with Jada that night.
A lot of actors on their big night when they're the favorite to win, and Will Smith was the favorite to win. He had been nominated twice. He had lost both times. I think everybody practically knew this was Will Smith night. So it's relatively normal that even when somebody is the favorite to win, the community, the host, the comedian still take a few jabs at them on their big night. It's like roasting, like when they
But he didn't take a jab at Will. He didn't make fun of Will's ears, or he didn't make fun of Independence Day. He didn't make fun of Will. He didn't make fun of Will. He made fun of Jada.
His wife is an extension of him. Like, how do you not get
that? No. See, that sounds like somebody that ain't got no wife, right? Because I'm not. Look, if he had told, there are so many goofy ass things that Will Smith has done over, going back to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He could have told all kinds of jokes about Will, but he didn't.
Here's the thing about that. Once he said something about Jada, Will hopped on the stage. The way he was setting it up, he was getting to Will. The same thing he did to the couple directly before he said something about Jada. He was going to get everybody. Now the whole thing is, and I understand, because my number 2 fear in life is not to get killed by a nigga over a chick. So I understand what's going on, but you gotta see it for what it is. A man is doing his job. Let's say that. Okay, I'll make it a personal story. I have a neighbor. He's very cool. Like if I see him grilling, I'll bring the meat, and we'll sit back and drink and grill and crack jokes. One time his wife came outside and said, "Yo, all your friends got to leave because you got to come in the house so we can argue." He said, "About what?" She said, "I'll make it up." The next time she came by, she said, "I don't like any of your friends." She said, "Why?" He said, "Because they take up too much of your time." Basically, she just hated seeing that man happy, because that's apparently what happens when you marry black women. So she just really didn't want to see him happy, and he found happiness. He couldn't have company in the house. He couldn't even have company in his garage. And he was on some happy wife, happy life stuff. And this is what I saw out of Jada. I saw Will enjoying himself, laughing, cracking jokes, knowing that it was his day. And his wife was like, "Yo, I'm not happy. So you need to throw your life away. Throw your career away."
I cannot let this dude be happy.
Did was
I just can't let him get an unblemished win. That's what that was.
What Will did was foolish. And what Jada did, how subtle or unsubtle it was, you would have hoped that she would have responded. I mean, it wasn't like she jumped up and say, "Go get that nigga," So I mean, you would have hoped that she would have kind of laughed it off or whatever. But I mean, it wasn't some big as outward expression on her part to go and attack Will Smith. And I noticed Chris Rock, and I noticed in that example you illustrated, you didn't say, in that lengthy example you provided, you didn't say nothing about calling his wife bald headed. I don't recall that part.
Oh, well, she is bald headed. That came later after the second time.
No, but I'm saying you didn't, in your example, you didn't say in front of him,
because
your wife is bald headed.
I said it to him. I didn't say it in front of her, but I said it to him. Here's the thing, though, but that's because she already made the rules of engagement. If you believe what Chris Rock said, Jada made the rules of engagement. That means that when all the time when he was prepping for the Oscars, she was like, "Fuck this dude." When it was on their way to the Oscars, she was like, "Fuck this dude." When the show started, she was like, "Fuck this dude." When he said something to her, she gave Will a look, and Will was like, "Oh, fuck this dude." You know what I'm saying? That's how.
This is.
Hey, I just got one question. Did Denzel and Tyler Perry tell them don't fight in front of white folks? I guarantee you they told Will, "Why you do that in front of them white folks?" I guarantee you.
I'm sure they did.
They said that.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they said
the hell wrong.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, I wanted to slap some folks too, but I couldn't do it in front of the white people. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
And the thing is that,
hold on, wait.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Put it like this, man. Like I've had this talk with my woman. I forgot what happened. It was at a family gathering at my mama's house. It was something happened, and she was damn. Somebody got mute up. Somebody got mute up. I don't know who the hell that is. Okay, all right. Something happened, and it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a blow up. We don't argue like that. We really don't argue at all. We for damn sure don't argue in public. But something happened, and she was upset, and I could see it in her face. And I gave the talk to her. I don't give a damn what happened when you around my folks. God damn it, you perform. You put on a fake smile and you play Stepford wife. I don't give a damn. You don't show it. Don't show a damn it. Wait till later. God damn it. Like so even with me just being a regular dude, I know for damn sure the routine that you perform. Fucking like fuck all that. Like, so I'm saying that to say that it's no way possible that they have not had the talk, the discussion of all this stuff going on. Everybody, come on, wait. Who? Somebody got background shit with all this stuff going on. Everybody, cracking all them jokes on us. Here we are. We at the Oscars. This is my big night. I'm about to win. God damn it, we're going to perform. We going to take it's I know for a fact that it's already been a situation where they like, no, we got to take the shit on the chin if they crack some jokes at us. Like, I mean, regular people have that conversation when they go around to relatives. They know that, hey, we got to play it smooth, we got to play it cool, we can argue about the shit later. If she was seriously mad at that joke and she saw Will Smith on his biggest day with a smile on his face laughing, I don't care how pissed she was. She's a fucking actor. She was supposed to perform, and don't give him no mean scowl that's going to make him break out of the character, because he probably was mad too. But he was in character, sitting there acting. She's supposed to he too. She's supposed to follow his lead. It ain't no excuse for her to sit there and put on a little mad frowning face and then look at him like, nigga, why you laughing? Like that is ridiculous. So, I mean, to not look at that as just an outright failure, one on his part, that he ain't got her nowhere near in control. I mean, hell, she's sucking his son's friend's dick. I mean, but either way it go, she don't know to just like, you're a fucking actor. She don't know to act one more day. Like, goddamn. Like, I'm not making no excuses for anything that happened on that night. I can't. All right, shout out to Little Big Nate. Hashtag what he put right there. Hashtag battery in back. Flat out.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's like all the disrespect that Chris done took. I mean, not Chris, but Will done took from celebrating her 40th birthday, the entanglement that was just around the corner, the constant times when she tried to put him on the camera. He don't want to be on camera. And for him not to just grab his nuts and say, you know what, fuck you, I ain't getting up. Or just sit there and laugh in her face. I mean, like I think they're putting the earnest on freaking Chris instead of putting the earnest on freaking Will, because Will shouldn't have got up.
And that's facts, because she's on the way to the Oscars. He should have looked at her like, listen, you gonna take whatever's coming tonight because you just sucked my son's friend's dick. So Chris Rock, he should have gave Chris Rock permission to say all the things that he wants to say. And then later on, he could act and be like, that damn Chris, man, that was bad what he said to you. And to himself saying, yeah, you get all of that. You get all of it. Take it.
Well, I mean, she deliberately put him in a bad situation, because what would everybody say if there wasn't a slap? They'll basically be like, Will Smith was laughing at Jada Pickett's expense. She's sitting there miserable and he's laughing at his wife and shit. He'll be like the asshole husband of the universe. That's what the headlines would read. So she was
supposed to perform. Exactly. Act one more day.
So by not following his lead and laughing, she started a situation, which is now a chain reaction. And mind you, she's trying to get out of this shit. She's trying to get out of it. She's right now saying that, I didn't have anything to do with what Will did, and like I didn't have anything to do with it.
No, immediately after she said she had the audacity. Immediately after she had the audacity to say, "I wish Will hadn't got up and did that." Now,
Yeah,
look,
exactly.
Bernard, you have that clip?
She can't make him go get up and go do that. But she can't deny the fact that she put battery in back. She can't deny that. She gave
didn't
him the
do
look.
that though. I can't say she did it. She looked like she laughed, and then she kind of made her roll her eyes to the side, look, and then he got up and did all of that. She actually
because she can laugh and Will can't. She can laugh, but Will can't laugh. That's the thing.
She actually
he's so chipped up. It don't make no sense.
Well, no, I mean it's a bad look. Listen, if that was she made the worst case scenario. If both of them laughed, that would have been okay. If both of them didn't laugh, that would have been okay. But if Will laughed and she didn't, then that makes Will look like an asshole.
But she did laugh.
She did laugh.
That's and then she cut her eyes at Will, and then that's when Will got up. Everybody know what that means. When you give him a life, you better do something about this. Like we playing dumb here, but it's like honestly, Will would have got more respect if he didn't stand up because the woman don't respect him, and all he doing is trying to fight for her respect, and it ain't getting him nowhere. But he's clearly a glutton for punishment.
And that's what
somebody said she laughed after. I'm talking about like after the joke was said.
No, she laughed
initially.
No, yeah. Okay, I didn't see her laugh when the joke was said. I'm saying that if that would have happened, then it would just be two people laughing at the joke.
She smiled after Will smacked her.
And I do remember seeing that. But something? People think that she was laughing at Chris when that happened. She was laughing at Will. She was like, "Gotcha, nigga.
Yeah,
your career is over. Gotcha."
Here's the thing, man. Because think about it. Will tried to do the Hollywood thing and go to rehab. He went to India, Pakistan or something to get away from her, and she hopped on a plane and said, "We're gonna do rehab together." Like, bitch, I'm trying to rehab from you. Like, she does not want to see that man happy, but he is the meal ticket. She's jealous he's the meal ticket. Everything she says is a lie. So you think about it. She had her kid writing letters to Tupac saying Tupac is a better man than her biological father. Tupac died before that girl was born. Meanwhile, the reason she wasn't with Tupac because she told Tupac that Eazy-E was a better man than him. Like her whole thing.
Oh, that's news.
That's
breaking news right there.
Yeah, I never heard anything like that.
Oh, look it up.
I can't even know if she met Eazy.
Yeah, they got pictures together. She was rocking with Eazy. She told Tupac he wasn't thug enough. He was a Juilliard School of the Arts ass fake gangster, and she wanted the real gangster Eazy-E. And now she telling everybody she wanted the real gangster. Like, let me tell you something, bro. Anytime you listen to these toddlers with clothes on, man, bad things are gonna happen, bro. It's just life. So he messed up his career trying to prove something to a woman who already had him cuckold.
Man.
Yep, clearly.
And he getting punked by a nigga that's way smaller and weaker than him.
Can I mention the comedy special? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get back there because it seemed like we left a lot of meat on the bone on that one. I think
you can real quick. I got you next. Don't nobody else jump in. I got what's your name? Mobility. I'm sorry, I can't see the names.
Mental agility.
Mental agility. My bad. Okay, but Joe's in the building says a look and eye roll. A look and eye roll. A sigh. Arms crossed. Signs. Mama isn't happy. Jada had Will trained. Thank you for putting 5 on it, and thank you for explaining the sequence of events properly, because that's pretty much how I remembered it. I just couldn't recall it exactly, but yeah, that was he got up like a trained dog. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Shout out to Afro National. Says hashtag selective outrage.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Appreciate you coming through, dropping $2 on it, and also thank you. Who we got? Oh wait, no, I think I already read that one. Says, oh, and she laughed after Will slapped Chris. Yeah, that part I forgot about too. We were just talking about that. It was a laugh after the slap. That was weird. It was all weird. But thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. I think I got all the super chats caught up. Hold on. Yeah, I think I did that one, that one, and that was a super chat of the year right there. All right, go ahead, mental agility. You got the floor, you got the mic. We're gonna wrap this up real soon too, but go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, like I was saying, there was a lot of meat left on the bone with that comedy special. Me personally, I think it was lackluster. It had some good parts, but yeah, he could have did better. And I think one thing that a lot of us is missing out on is that a lot of these comedians, they have teams. They bounce ideas off each other. Hey, what you think is funny? What's this and what's that? And another thing is, this is a Netflix special. They gave Dave Chappelle free reign to do whatever and say whatever he wanted, and they backed him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take his special down. They told those people, "Hey, look, this is what it is. This is going to be." You know what I'm saying? And Chris could have did the same thing. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, they are both left leaning, but Dave Chappelle had no problems going after the rainbow community. And I think the reason why Chris Rock wouldn't is because there might be some skeletons in his closet that he's afraid to expose. Because I mean, it's wide open. Everybody like those jokes write themselves at this point. You know what I'm saying? And for him not to like get at everybody, you know, and it was just it was bothersome to me, because it's like when he started calling Jada a bitch, that's when everybody clutched their pearls. You could even hear it in the crowd. They're like, you know, so he could have got a little more racier, especially, you know, everybody knows his pedigree. Everybody knows where he comes from and his old stand up. You know what I'm saying? He could have pushed the envelope a little further for me. That's why I thought it was lackluster.
Yeah, no, I generally agree with that. It was, I mean, I say this as a Chris Rock fan. He's one of my favorite comedians. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't enjoy all of it. Just a few good parts. But yeah, yeah, we pretty much about to wrap this thing on up. We went past the 3-hour mark. It got interesting. Black Uru dropped down. I didn't drop him down. I think he dropped down on his own. But yeah, that was he had an interesting take on all of this. But yeah, look, yeah, we got to get up out of here. I'd like to thank everybody who came to everybody supported the stream in any way, shape, or form.
Peace, fellas.
Yeah, appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.